All right, it's pushing the stream out now.
Yeah, I see it.
Yep.
Meeting, streaming live on YouTube.
Oh, where do you see that at?
I see it on the top left. On the top left, it says live on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Yep. And I see we live on YouTube.
You may want to switch to the gallery.
I see it on the top left. On the top left, it says live on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Yep.
Oh, hold on.
I see we live on YouTube.
Yep. Well, yeah, y'all in business. So I'm gonna get out of here.
All right,
y'all.
I should.
Oh, I gotta find a new host. I'm gonna be you the new host.
All right, bet.
We're gonna miss you, Audio Ken.
We gonna miss you. Ken, man. We gonna miss you, Audio Ken.
Manny got that. What's that? Howard Stern mic.
Oh yeah, new mic, man. Had to upgrade.
What's that? That's the Blue Yeti?
Nah, that's the Shure.
Oh, the Shure joint. Yeah, them good. Them good microphones.
They just created a podcast mic. So they have the standard one that like all radio stations and all that. And then this is just like the podcast version. So
that's on Amazon?
Yeah.
I'm about to look it up now.
I have to look that up too.
My wife got me this for my birthday. So
am I gonna have to do the intro, B?
Yes.
All right. This is a place where sports opinions collide. And that sounds weird coming up. Me saying it. This is Dead End Sports. You feel me? This is Duce hosting, so we're gonna be a little casual with it.
You the captain now.
Yeah.
I'm the captain now. Look at me. I'm the captain now. I could have started off though, because I was still in Dead End gaming mode. It's
too late now, nigga.
Yeah, I know it's too late. You got it. This your boy Nicky Duce.
You feel me? Tell him about me, B. Tell him about me.
Nicky Duce, boy.
You know how you be your boy Nicky Duce, aka.
Hey, they got to know.
If you want to envy somebody's life, man, go follow Nicky Duce on Instagram, man. He be getting into it.
Yes, sir.
I just be trying to please the people. They be want to get a.
I feel you, my brother.
Touch with the life and times. You got to give it every now and then.
You should have your own reality show, brother.
No, I can't do all that. It's too. They're gonna be asking too many questions.
I ask questions every week. I'm like, damn, nigga, like.
Yeah, he don't answer. Oh, he don't answer DMs either.
No, he don't.
I'm like, I said, where you at? Nah.
Don't even worry about all
You
that.
can forget about him answering them.
He catch a Fed. He ain't trying to catch no Fed charges. Like, yo, I'm good, man. I don't need no incriminating evidence.
I try to keep it offline if I can.
Yep.
But we're here now talking about sports. Ken is out, doing Ken stuff. He's holding down Dead End. So even when you don't see him, he's always working.
FIFO's out too. He's celebrating the wife's birthday. So
yeah. Shout out to FIFO. Shout out to Ken.
He put a different type of work in right now.
He put in different type of work.
That quality time.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
But since we let's get it popping. Y'all want to start off with NBA or NFL?
I guess NBA.
I don't care really.
A lot. I guess it's not a lot of NBA.
Oh, before we get into anything, Shelton, y'all getting skull drugged by Iowa, by the way.
Don't say nothing, man. I was trying to.
He said, "Don't say that."
He said, "Don't say that."
No, because I was watching the Cowboys game, but I was recording. That.
All right, I'm just letting you know. I'm just giving you the score, man. That's me. I'm trying to be helpful, brother.
But it's about to be a game right after this too, and somebody about to get drugged.
Illinois, man, get out of here, man.
Y'all watch these Blue Devils go down. That's all I care about. If they lose, we can lose. If they lose, we good.
Hey, if I jump off the stream, y'all know what happened.
Hey, Shelton, he may jump off anyway when we get to the Jets. But
that's it.
Hey, the tank is still in effect. I'm good, baby. I'm Gucci.
We gonna hear about that.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to it as far as like the main, I guess, biggest topic so far this week, at least for me, is this Kyrie Irving interview from the podcast that he's on. What was it called? Let me see. But basically, on this podcast that Kyrie was on, I think it was with one of his homies, he basically was saying that throughout his whole career, he's always felt like he's been the best option to go to when it comes to closing games. And now he finally has someone else who he would probably defer to, and he most likely will defer to, and Kevin Durant.
I feel like he said, didn't he say this like earlier this year or something like that? I feel like
he's always kind of said that. I feel like he said that before.
Yeah.
I feel like he said it when LeBron was still in Cleveland when he was talking about the shot. Like,
yeah.
I feel like he's really insecure, and there may be some justification for his insecurity, but he's really insecure about how he does not get love for that shot. Like, no one really cares about that shot.
You brought up the perfect adjective. He's insecure. Like, this dude is. I love Kyrie, but Kyrie. I feel like Kyrie need a Dr. Phil session, man. Like, I feel like, who's that lady that's with Oprah, Anja, or whatever her name is? Like, like he need one of those. Yeah. I feel like Kyrie needs one of those sessions, man. Like, just let it out, Kyrie, because it's some like pent up emotions or whatever going on with him. Like, it's just one day he's up, next day he's down. 2 weeks later, he loves LeBron. 2 weeks, he doesn't love LeBron, or he doesn't get enough credit. I mean, it just feels like it's all over the place with Kyrie, man. I didn't even pay attention to it because it's just like I looked at the transcripts and I was like, it's Kyrie saying Kyrie stuff. So it's not.
I think he just really just don't want to be looked at like Pippen. You know what I'm saying? Like, or Robert Horry for that matter. Somebody like a second or third wheel that's just happened to make a shot.
But nobody who's a true basketball fan looks at Kyrie like that. Like, right. I hate this notion that, like, first of all, Scottie Pippen is one of the best players in the history of the NBA. So this idea that nobody wants to be looked at like Scottie, like, shit, there's a lot of motherfuckers that would kill to have Scottie Pippen's career. Exactly. Let's be real.
But he is starting to become, like, especially what happened in Boston. And now
his antics are what's starting to cloud people's perception of him, right? Because the thing with Boston, it was a negative look. And look, we can sit here and debate that till the cows come home, right? Who had the most blame? Was it Brad Stevens? Was it Kyrie? Was it a combination of both? Ainge, whoever, right? But Kyrie went to Boston as the guy. He wanted to be the guy, the lead dog, all that, right? And he failed. He failed miserably. That team had more success when he was not on the court than when he was on. That's fact.
Yeah, because there was one game away from the finals.
Exactly.
Injured, right? Yeah, with
exactly.
Terry Rozier as the point guard.
Yeah, exactly. That's an indictment on Kyrie, bro. Like,
it is.
That's what I'm saying.
That's his point. Yeah, that's why he feels that way.
But he's not talking about that though. He doesn't talk about that. He talks about he doesn't get enough credit about the shot or all the good things that he does.
It all plays together because it's a part of his ego. It's a part of his how he defines himself. He defines himself as a closer, as a nigga that get that shit done, i.e. what I did in Cleveland.
Right.
I.e. what I do in most game-winning situations. I'm having the ball in my hand and I'm making a ridiculous shot. However, again, because he doesn't get recognized for that, for being that clutch, he gets looked at as LeBron's, like, I mean, yeah, he looked at like LeBron's Robin when he wants to be like his equal. He's like, we Batman, Superman.
And I feel you, Nick.
Situation. So every time that people question that, I think he has to I feel like he just automatically just always has to remind people in any interview that I'm that nigga. However he has to say it, he will say it.
The problem with Kyrie, and he hasn't figured it out yet, is though, the way you change the narrative is by winning. The way you change the narrative is by winning. Remember when people thought, Kobe just won because of Shaq, right? Like remember that used to be a thing where Kobe was only great because he played with Shaq, right?
And then Shaq ended up winning one before he went in number 4 before Kobe. So that was pent on Kobe even more, like from that point.
Right. And real Laker fans, they used to upset real Laker fans because if you really watch the game and you really watch basketball, I was like, Kobe was up here to Shaq. Like, they were equals. Of course, Shaq was Shaq and he was the offense. But there were series where Kobe dominated in those playoffs against other teams, like that Spurs series in 2001. Kobe and Shaq went back, were neck and neck as far as who was the most dominant player on the court. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, true Laker fans know that, right? But what was the narrative, right? Kobe was the little brother. And Kobe got tired of it, right? And the way you shut the critics up is by winning. And Kyrie had a shot in Boston and he failed. Now let's see what he does with the Nets. We'll see. But even with the Nets, it's going to be difficult because whose team is it? It's KD's team. No matter what Kyrie does, KD is the guy. He's the more iconic player, right?
And that's why his comments are guiding the message to where he wants to get it to. That's why he said this stuff. This whole comment is about KD, honestly. but he just has to slight LeBron a bit, or like LeBron felt slighted by the comments because he said like, this is the nigga that's better than me. And this is the only nigga that I recognize as that. So he's already kind of being like, look, it's a partnership, but I'm going to defer to him. But best believe every other team I was on, I was that nigga, including that Cavs team.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So he's controlling the narrative. Like, it's almost a brilliant tactic now I think about it, as far as when you break it down like that, he's still not only getting his, but also being like selfless by showcasing that his teammate is talented as well.
I do think it's a shot at LeBron. And once again, I think that for me, I just feel like the man feels like he never got the credit he deserved for what he's done. And he feels like LeBron gets so much credit that can eat at you. You know what I'm saying? We know people like that, you know, LeBron has been in a great situation, even though he's created a lot of those situations. He's been in a great situation for a lot of his career. So he gets a lot of that credit, even when it's not even deserved. He's going to get more than he deserves as far as credit goes. And that was Kyrie's kind of way of saying, like, wait a minute, I was on that team and I did my thing. Give me my props. That's what I think he was saying, and that's why I think he said it. And he meant what he said. And he was actually there. So he may know something that I don't know because he was on the team with the man. So in saying that, it is what it is. And I'm not mad he said it. We always really want to know the inside thing. People think that I hear a lot of people that kind of get on athletes about speaking their opinion and, you know, saying how they feel. I want to know how they feel. I want to know what they really feel. So keep it 100 and say what you got to say and mean what you say.
But in that same vein, though, like, I just don't like the passive aggressive shit. It's like, if you got something to say, bro, like, name a man's name. Like I don't like these subliminal pot shots where it's like teenager shit to me. It's like, yo, if you got an issue or you got something that you really want to get off your chest, then mention names, bro. Like, I don't respect this, like, you know, I don't respect that 6'9" dude that I used to play with back in Cleveland. I mean, I ain't gonna mention no names, but, you know, the nigga with no hairline. Like, nigga, come on, just mention LeBron. Like, we all know who you're talking about, Kyrie. Like, right. Let's stop with this nonsense, right? I don't like that. I don't like the passive aggressiveness, right? Like, if you got something to say it. Like, we all men here. Like, if one of us had a problem with it, either each other or whatever, we gonna bring it to each other. Like, we're gonna talk about it like as men, and we're gonna handle it how it gets handled. You know what I'm saying? This nonsense of passive aggressive pot shots, I just don't like. And Kyrie's not the only one. A lot of dudes do that in the NBA, and it's just annoying to me.
I hope we both get a full healthy Kyrie and KD going into this season, because
I hope so too.
I want to see what these boys can do fully healthy. And I hope they'll be an exciting team to watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope we get the old KD back. You know, so I hope he had enough time to, you know, heal and get through this injury. Hopefully nothing, you know, he won't have no setbacks or it won't be no Klay Thompson type of situation when you go 10 games into the regular season. Like, I hope he is healthy this entire season. Kyrie is healthy. We don't want to hear nothing. Y'all got a new coach over there. Like, I want to see how fun this team is going to be.
Yeah, I want to see that too, just for the KD's sake. I don't want my last image of KD being, you know, crippled in the NBA finals. Like, I want to see him back to being like, all right, he still gets busy and he got Kyrie and they possibly could get James Harden too. I want to be excited about basketball in New York outside of, you know, the Knicks, of course. You know,
you think James Harden getting out of Houston?
That was my next question. I was like, shit, is he trying too hard to get out of Houston?
Yeah.
We can get to that in 1 second. But before we get off this, I think that this is going to be a really exciting year for Brooklyn, because that team was already nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm not as high on Brooklyn as other people seem to be, man. I still question how they fit. That duo fits.
How high you hearing people them being on? Like, before you get into I don't really hear enough talk. People thinking they're gonna be like a 1 or a 2 seed, nothing like that.
Well, Manny's only talking shit because this is the only team that can stop the Lakers from winning another title. This is why he was talking shit last year about the Clippers because that was the only team, and now he's moved on to a new target.
No, man, that's not it. That's not it.
I see you, man. I see what you're doing.
That's not it. Look, no, but all seriousness though, Look, obviously, we all know if KD and Kyrie play up to their utmost potential, they have the potential to be a very good duo. I question that. Like, to me, they're two ball dominant guys that need the ball to be successful. I question that fit from a basketball perspective.
I would agree with that if this was KD leaving OKC, but I think him playing at Golden State, I think he learned a lot how to play without the ball. So I think it could work. He can make it work if he has to play without the ball. Because I mean, Kevin Durant is just that good. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think like I said, if this was coming from OKC, I would be like, yeah, I agree, because I don't know if he can play off the ball. But I think Golden State was a good teaching moment for him. You know, team.
And I feel you. That's a good point, B. But the one caveat is, right, he was playing with Steph. Steph is the most unselfish guy, you know, you could play with, right?
The system he was playing,
and the system catered perfectly to him because he could play off the ball for 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter it was crunch time, right? It was cooking time. So if you remember, a lot of those offensive sets they ran through KD, especially late in the fourth quarter, right? Yeah. Especially those ISOs, right?
Yeah.
How is that going to work in Brooklyn? Because now you have a guy who we just talked about. We just spent an entire segment on talking about he's that guy, right? He wants to be that guy. And I know he's saying that now that, KD's the best, offensive go-to guy I've ever played with and all that. Like I said, I think I said this either last week or on the show we did with Shelton's friend. These dudes say the right things in training camp and in preseason. They all love each other. What's going to happen after the first loss or the first 3-game losing streak, or when Kyrie take a dumbass shot that KD had an open look for?
Why are you like this?
I'm
Why are
being
you looking
serious.
at the glass half empty and not half full? B just told you about like what basketball would be like with KD and Kyrie in the league, and you over here pointing out all the bullshit that could happen.
But am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not right. All right. nothing has happened just yet for you to say any of that. And this situation is a lot different than how he was in LeBron, because that was a unexpected baby coming into the family when he was in Cleveland, and LeBron just said, I want to go there and I'm moving heaven and earth to get there. You lucky you ain't got traded by now. You lucky I need you. This situation is different. He's going with someone he actually wants to play with. He chose this person to play with, and they have a better relationship than he has with LeBron. So it's it's just like it's a better situation, a better scenario. So I would think that he knows exactly what he's going into, and he was looking at KD winning those titles too. He knows exactly what he's capable of. He knows that he can play with another MVP level all-star. Like, I know Kyrie hasn't won an MVP, but he is of that ilk where he could win an MVP depending on how the season shaped. So I think that going into all that, he has to understand his role and what this team's success could be if he buys into it.
And they've had a whole off season together to kind of study and plot and plan. Those guys know what to expect at this point because they've been there. They've both been on either side, so they kind of know what they're going to do at this point. I would think they didn't spend the whole last year sitting there looking without saying what their plans were going to be and how they were going to handle the situation. I think that's already been discussed. It should have been. If it had not, shame on them.
Y'all lips to God's ears, man. Let's hope. Let's hope.
But that's supporting cast, though, man. Like I said,
that's the best supporting cast this side of LA.
Yeah, and those guys were already strong.
A lot of those dudes got busy without Kyrie and KD on the court, and now what happens? You're introducing these dudes back onto the court, and if you're a Karis LeVert, if you're a Spencer Dinwiddie, you're like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think they know what it is, though. I mean,
But we think that, B, but we don't know that. Like, Terry Rozier thought he was the dude, even though he was playing with Kyrie. Like, these dudes have egos, man. Like, these cats grew up their whole lives thinking they were the shit, right? And they go onto a basketball team, and their best success was with the dude not being on the court. So we know this. We have common sense to know, like, of course Spencer Dinwiddie should know that KD is that guy compared to Spencer Dinwiddie. But does Spencer Dinwiddie know that? Does Karis LeVert know that?
They
as long as they get their minutes, they're gonna be good. That's
I think if they get their minutes and if they're winning games, and they're getting their minutes, we all know winning cures everything. So
true, absolutely.
If Spencer and LeVert, if they getting their minutes, and if the Nets, come out hot and winning and 13-4 and number 1 in the East right now, everything is gonna be good. Them guys are not gonna have an issue. But if they start off 1-10 and can't get the coaching situation, of course we're going to hear guys complaining. We're going to hear guys coming out the woodwork saying, oh, well, I should be playing this or this. So it really depends on if they're winning. If they're winning,
true,
Spencer and LeVert are going to be happy with whatever minutes they get and whatever time they get.
The only thing that gives me pause, right, is the coaching situation, right? Because we got a rookie, a first-time coach in Steve Nash.
Yep.
None of us have never seen Steve Nash coach a basketball game in his life. Obviously, we know how great of a player he was. Obviously, that doesn't always translate into success on the coaching level. Ask Magic, ask Isaiah, ask whoever, right? There's been many examples of great players who it didn't translate into coaching. So that's what gives me pause. Like if they had a veteran coach or even a coach that, you've built a rapport, like if they still had Kenny Atkinson, which I still don't understand why they fired Kenny Atkinson, to be honest, but whatever. Yeah. If they had Kenny Atkinson there,
I thought he was a good coach.
I would feel better about the Nets than I do right now.
I think that who are those assistant coaches he got there?
D'Antoni.
We got D'Antoni.
And it was somebody else.
Stoudemire. Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah, but he got another, at least one more vet out there. His supporting cast is going to be really strong. I think that his foundation is strong as a coach. So I'm really not looking for him to do a whole lot of coaching, X's and O's. Mm-hmm. He's more for leadership and direction, and he was a leader on the floor. So I feel like it'll be a pretty smooth transition. Plus, you're dealing with a veteran team. These guys ain't rookies, and they know what time it is. Spencer Dinwiddie knows what time it is. Chris LeVert knows. Joe Harris knows. Those centers know.
You got Jeffries and DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, you got those guys know what time it is. So they're going to play their roles and do what they're there to do. And I just feel like the team's going to be successful. I don't see why it shouldn't be. You got a year under your belt to kind of hang around each other and get to know each other without them being on the floor, which strengthen everybody else around them. So it should mesh right together. You're right. It could be a train wreck, but
it won't. It shouldn't be though, because if worst case scenario, them boys is gone, Manny. Them boys is going to the trade package, and we can possibly get James Harden or some other all-star that we need to take us over the top if we don't win a title this year. It's a perfect scenario. The Nets added KD and Kyrie Irving to a roster that was already a playoff team in the East. A good playoff team in the East at least the 6th seed. So you add KD and Kyrie, you're going to be at least top 3 in the East, maybe even top 3 in the NBA. So and if those boys don't work out, you trade them. They already know what's up. When KD and Kyrie come down, furniture's going to get moved. Everything going to get reupholstered. So something's going to change.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. I'm just saying. I wouldn't go to Vegas and bet my fortune that the Nets are going to be this like dominant powerhouse.
We know who
team.
you betting on, Manny. You ain't got to lie to us. Don't act like you care about.
See, you bringing up the Lakers more than I have. I ain't say nothing about my team,
because that's how comfortable you are. I'm a Knicks fan. I don't like how comfortable you are with this title.
Hey, let me be, man. I'm rooting for a football team that's going 0-16, bro. Like, let me be comfortable, man.
Oh, okay. And they have by the way, they have Jock Vaughn still there, which is good. They got
Jock Vaughn. Yeah, that's yeah.
Mike D'Antoni, Ime Udoka, who they say is the hottest young coach around. Royal Ivy is there. So they
got a solid coaching staff. They can that they can.
Kenny Atkinson is player development coordinator, so he's there too. So they got everybody still there.
That's a damn good coaching staff.
That's a good coaching staff, man. Hopefully
you can't ask for more.
Yeah.
Royal Ivy was one of my favorite non-heralded players, and
we
he's
shall
a dog.
see.
Yeah, we shall see. Yeah.
I just think they have everything in place to be successful at this point.
And for the record, I'm not saying they're not going to make the playoffs.
No. We know.
Disaster.
We know. Yeah. I hope, like I said, I hope they're 100% healthy, because I think the Nets is going to be a fun team to watch. They're definitely going to be a fun team to watch this season.
I'll tell you what, though, I wouldn't be giving LeBron no bulletin board material if I was him. I wouldn't have done that. But other than that,
right.
You have to. LeBron would have to get to. They both would have to get to the finals for them to even have that.
Man, can you imagine the storylines behind
That's
that?
That's a long way
away. Yeah,
you got to get there first.
For Kyrie, man, and again, I love Kyrie, but Kyrie, just shut up and play basketball, man.
The only thing greater than that,
shut up and dribble.
Just shut up and dribble.
Yeah, the only thing greater than that would be, like Brady and Belichick.
Kyrie, I want Kyrie to stay healthy for a full season, play 60 some odd games, healthy, productive, no drama, and just play. That's it. And then we let the chips fall where they may, man. These constant, I don't know, man. He's like attention seeking. It's like when no one's talking about Kyrie, I feel like he has to go. That's when he's gonna say something to the media, or he's gonna make a dumbass podcast appearance.
But he ain't gonna do that because he's not talking to the media.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember he not. I think one of y'all was like, "That's smart." Someone, everybody said that was smart in the chat. I can't remember who said it though. Yeah, he's not talking to the media.
That shit working in Cleveland. That shit might not work in New York.
No. You gotta talk to somebody in New York.
Yeah. Y'all think you need to be fined for that?
No, I don't know if the NBA has a strict media policy like
I think they do.
Yeah. For real?
I think they do. I mean, I would think so. It should be.
I think that would have been brought up then that he got fined or something. Usually,
I don't think so.
Like
I don't think it's a big deal. Like I know the NFL is notorious, right? But like,
but I think you have to be available for the media.
I think you have to. I think it's like one of those like not enforced type of things where if guys want to talk, they can talk. But I don't think it's as. I mean, I could be wrong. Somebody in the chat correct us, but if they know, but I don't think it's the. But we're
Plus, you got KD there. KD can take most of those questions anyway.
Exactly.
But let's talk about James Harden, man.
Oh, James.
Will he play? Is he going to play for the Houston Rockets for the full season?
The way he's going, no. I mean, I think he's. Yeah, I do think he's going to end up starting this season playing for them. But I definitely think before the regular season trade deadline, which I can't remember when it was, because of course everything is pushed up. I definitely see Houston being like, all right, let's see how this goes. We're gonna try to. I think right now the way they seeing James, whose TV is up loud like that?
Everybody's
loud. Oh, I think if they they're gonna see how this play out. They see James Harden still, messing around before the season, or he's not 100% focused. I think they're going to start talking to other teams, shopping around, trying to see if they can get some trade packages going on. I think he's going to be out before the trade deadline. But I do think he might end up starting this season with the Rockets. But
he's going to start the season.
Yeah.
Honestly, like to me, I want to see an NBA team for once stand their ground. Because if you're Houston, like I really don't have to trade James Harden. Like,
what's his contract looking like? Didn't they break him off?
They still got 3 years. He still has 3 years, $100+ million, and I think he's got an option year on top of that too.
Yeah.
So they really have no. This is my issue with these NBA teams, right? Like these NBA teams let themselves get punked by these players, bro. Like, and I get it; it's a players' league. Players have a lot of power. They have all the power in a lot of scenarios. But these NBA teams got a lot of power too, because if you're James Harden, you could play this game for a while. But eventually, what is your end game? Right. If Houston digs their heels in the ground and says we're not trading you, so you can play all the little games you want to play. You can not show up. You can wake up in a strip club one morning and miss practice. Like it doesn't matter. We're not trading you. Now it sounds good. Obviously, a lot of NBA teams just don't want to go through that distraction. But if you're the Rockets, it's like, yo, we're gonna suck with you and we're gonna suck without you. So
but you don't want. It's not a good look for your fan base.
It's not a good look, but it's not a good look for James Harden either. Like it's not a good look for James.
But this is how. But the precedent has been set. This is how NBA stars get out of the situation.
And I completely. I don't like it. I think it makes you look bad. Like I think it makes you look bad, man. Like I think it's a sucker movie.
I look at it at any relationship. If you want out, you got to be vocal about it.
Yeah, I hate that he did it. Because I hate it for Houston, by the way, because it just lessened their trade bargain chip. Because with him, if you traded him before, you had more to gain from it. Now, teams
I disagree with you.
Teams like
Because he said he extended his teams to Philly and Brooklyn, and those are the only two teams that was going to be trading with. Houston was going to be willing to listen to anyway. So it ain't like he was talking about Phoenix or something.
That's the thing. What I'm saying is they know that he wants to be out, and they're gonna have to get rid of him. So what they have to offer for him is going to be less than what it has been.
See, that's the problem. Dealing with when you're talking about assets, right? With James Harden is an asset, right? It's about leverage. So who has the leverage in this situation? Does James Harden have the leverage, or does Houston have the leverage? James Harden has already showed his cards. No, I think Houston has the leverage because Houston could Houston doesn't have to trade him if they don't want to. He's not about to become a free agent. He's got 3 years left on that contract. So Houston could just sit back and be like, look, we're going to do what's best for Houston. We don't have to trade you to Philly. We don't have to trade you to Brooklyn if we don't like the package. We may want to trade you to Milwaukee.
But see, trading him is what's best for him. We saw what happened with situations like that. Look at Jimmy Butler in Minnesota. We saw what happened when they did not want to make a trade and how he treated the rest of the team and his teammates and the cancer he was that they had to do it. They had to get rid of him, and they got less for it. So in saying that, if he had told them, behind closed doors, look, I want out. Y'all start calling some teams and see what you get.
That there's a better way of handling it, Shelton. Right. And that's my issue.
But look how AD left New Orleans and he went to
that
LA.
was a sucker move. I said it then.
No, I'm saying, but look at what the Pelicans got in return. That's what I'm talking about. Like, even though AD already claimed that he's only looking at LA, the Pelicans still got a good haul of players. They just re-signed Brandon Ingram. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like
they got too much.
No, but that's on the work of the GM. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what team you have to engage with. It's about who can make the best deal. And if James Harden is going to be, if we already know he wants out, I'm looking at Brooklyn. I'm looking at Philly. I want Ben Simmons. What's good? Brooklyn. I need the Dunwoody and whatever the fuck. Like, I need all them niggas. Like, that's what they're going to have to do anyway, because they got to make, like you said, he has 3 years left on that deal, and he's owed a lot of money. The contracts got to add up, too. Some of these players are going to have to go.
Right. I just don't like it, man. The issue that I have is, to me, where's the accountability? Like, if any player that gets pissed off enough can just decide, yeah, I'm done, man. I'm not showing up to training camp. I'm talking shit about the owner. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Then, like, there has to be a boundary, right? Like, to me, there's a better way to handle it. Like, James Harden could have sat down with Tillman Fertitta, whoever, like, yo, man, we gave it a good shot. It was a good run. I won out. And he probably did that.
Yeah, I was going to say
he probably did that. We don't know this, obviously, right? But he probably did do that. Sit down and say, yo, I want out. And these are the teams that I want to play. And then if they don't trade you, you still show up and you still do what you got to do, man. Because to me, that's just a sucker move to me. If you just do this, and what is that showing about? And to me, if I'm a teammate of this dude, I'm sitting here looking at this dude like, damn, bro, like, you quitting on your team? This isn't some Rex. This is some rando. This is James Harden. This is one of the faces of the league. And you just deciding like, oh yeah, well, I just don't want to play with y'all. So I don't want to play with y'all bum ass niggas no more. So, fuck all that. Fuck all this training camp shit. I'm gonna just show up when I feel like it. That's a bad look to me. Some people may not agree with me.
But wherever he lands, if he wins a title, all this shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, and that's really all. I think that's what he's doing all this for. It's like, I want to win a title. I've done all the shit I can do in the NBA as far as accolades. Shit, I even won 6 Man of the Year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done all that I can. I need hardware, and I gotta control my future. But
again. And I wanted to come on here specifically to slander this man because, again, it's issues like this that really gets me. Like, James Harden acts like he's done everything that he had to do to win a championship, and it's just been everybody else that has let him down. And that's the narrative that I don't agree with. Like, James Harden has been a complete and utter failure in the biggest moments of his career. Like, that's just fact. Like, we don't have to recount everything. But if you know basketball, and you know, if we've talked about it ad nauseum for years, in the biggest of moments, James Harden has come up small, right? I think we all can agree on that, right?
Yes, he has.
Yeah, but that's
right.
That's a heavy, like, that's heavy to say for a guy who's done so much. No, I'm just saying, like, that's that you're packaging it in a way that sounds so horrible. Like this motherfucker.
But it's true.
But it's true. It's a part of the story.
He's shrinking
Nick.
in
It's
the
a part of the
biggest
story.
moments.
Yeah,
It's
but
not like this dude. It's not like this.
got to those moments,
This is what bugs me about James Harden. James Harden acts like he's lost 5 years in a row, game 7, and he's averaged 39, and it just came down to one possession or one missed free throw, and God damn, that man gave it all he's got. This man has come up small repeatedly. Yeah. All I ever heard was Rockets fans that I know. All they ever tell me, oh, well, if Chris Paul wouldn't have got hurt, Chris Paul wouldn't have got hurt. I don't want to hear that. You had the league MVP. 17-point lead in game 6, 15-point lead in game 7.
And without KD. Without KD. Jordan. Remember they had one without KD.
Exactly. You are the greatest scorer since Jordan. That's all I hear from these NBA nerds that love stats, right? James Harden is this. James Harden is that. You're the league MVP. Figure out a way to win a game at home. I don't care. I'm tired of the excuses, bro. Like, figure out a way to win that game. You had a 17-point lead in game 6. Okay, you want to chalk that up to, hey, it was on the road. Golden State going to make a run. Okay, I'll give you that. They ran Golden State out of the building the first 2 quarters of that game 7. And then what happened? 27 straight missed shots. 27 missed free throws. You can't tell me that there wasn't a point in that game where James Harden told Mike D'Antoni, yo, hey, all these chucking 3-pointers, fuck all that. Give me the ball, get out of the way. I'm going to take us home. That's what great players do. That's what Mike would have done. That's what Kobe would have done. That's what Larry Bird would have done. That's what name an icon. That's what James Harden wants to sit at that table, right? James Harden wants to be amongst those guys, right? Then that's what he's got to do. But my problem is that people that love James Harden, they frame it as James Harden's done everything to win, and the poor guy just hasn't caught a break. Poor James Harden. He hasn't caught a break. Like, come on, man. This dude has been soft repeatedly. And now he's only validating that he's soft, in my eyes.
I get it. Hey, we got a super chat from BZ820. We appreciate that, BZ820. He said James Harden said that the culture is so toxic, we're like the Knicks of the South.
He's the culture. He is the like.
Right, I was trying to be devil's advocate.
Oh my God,
Nick don't want to hear that.
You feel me? Nah, Manny, go ahead. You have the floor.
Bro, this is, again, a perfect example. Oh, the culture's so bad. Nigga, you the culture. You helped set the culture.
Right.
Like,
that was why. That's why they paid you the big contract.
Exactly.
When you left OKC. Yeah.
He is the culture.
They didn't have no culture until James Harden got
Daniel House isn't the culture. It's James Harden. He's the culture.
Yeah.
The culture starts with you.
Yeah.
I will never forget. This is what proved it to me for James Harden. This is how I knew James Harden was overrated and soft. There was a game 6. Remember that series against the Spurs a couple years ago? It was the series where Kawhi got hurt. It was against that Spurs.
Was that the one that Ginobili blocked him?
Yes.
Okay.
That game 6 where I think the Spurs were without LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard and I think like Patty Mills or somebody else, right?
Yep.
So the Spurs were down like 3 starters, and the Spurs went into Houston and beat them by 40. And James Harden had like 13 turnovers and I think only scored like 17 points. So I'm fiddling with the numbers, but the main crux is there, right? And I said, I'm like, how do you lose a closeout game at home against a team that's missing 3 of their starters, 3 of the best players, really?
Right.
How does that happen? Again, you are the culture. You are the guy. No one's gonna sit there and say, the culture in Houston is PJ Tucker. No, the culture is James Harden. He is the guy. You are the face of the franchise. It starts with you.
But you know that he has to say these things to get out. And I think this whole Houston thing has humbled him though, because now he knows he now knows he's not the guy. After how many years? It's been 5-7 years. I don't know how long he's been in Houston.
Nick, I want to have your outlook on life. I really do. I really want to have your positivity.
I'm only playing the host right now. I really don't give a fuck about this nigga, especially now he's dissing the Knicks. You feel me? Like the Knicks in the South. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
The Knicks have won.
Who are you in that scenario?
Listen. The Knicks have done more in their NBA lives than James Harden has. They've won more. Let's be fair. Now, it's been forever, but the Knicks have won more championships than James Harden has ever done in his life.
They've been to more championships than has ever been. If we're going that far. But yeah,
I'm just
I don't know.
saying, yeah.
I think that I don't know. I think that wherever he lands, I do think he will be traded before the end of the season because then, again, the franchise can't take so much of their star talking hella shit about them. They're gonna have to move off. That's bad PR. They're losing money off of that. That's bad PR. No one's buying Rockets jerseys if he's slandering them like that. But I think it's more intriguing to see where he goes, either Philly or Brooklyn. I would suggest Philly, but
I would suggest Philly because I think that Brooklyn thing has a chance to be a disaster. We would just praise in Brooklyn, right? For like, oh, it's gonna be fun to watch. Now you add James Harden to that mix.
No, that's gonna ruin that experiment. He need to go to Philly because him and Embiid.
I would love to be a fly on the wall to be in a locker room with James Harden and Kyrie Irving. I would just love it. I would pay big money to see that.
I don't want him in Philly. I don't. I want to keep this Philly team together with Doc and.
What is this Philly team?
What is the Philly team?
Man, I want to see what Doc can do with my boy, man. Ben. Let's see.
Doc ain't gonna do shit.
He might.
Doc ain't gonna do shit. You might as well call Doc McStuffins if you want someone to fill to build up motherfucking Ben Simmons. Doc ain't never built. I'm gonna keep saying Doc ain't never built nobody up to be an all-time great. Doc has been there when they've already arrived as great. And
Doc is a good coach. I listen. I think
I didn't say he was a bad coach. He ain't that coach. That's all I'm saying.
Is Doc a little overrated? Yes. I feel like Doc is facing hell from both sides, right? Like, is Doc underrated in a sense? Yes. I feel like Doc is overrated in a sense. Yes. Is Doc Phil Jackson? No. Because I think people put Doc in that Phil Jackson mode. And
is Doc even Eric Spoelstra? I say no.
I feel like Eric Spoelstra's getting a lot of love now because of what he did this year. But let's not forget, there was a lot of people looking at Eric Spoelstra like, yeah, this is the dude that coached Dwayne Wade and LeBron James.
I give you that. But even then,
things changed real quick.
Coach. He still was a top 5 coach. I couldn't name 5 coaches better than Eric Spoelstra, and I've tried. I've legit tried.
He's a hell of a coach.
Over the last 5 years, you can't.
He's a hell of a coach.
5 coaches better than Eric Spoelstra.
Doc Rivers is one of the best coaches in the NBA. I'm still going to die on that hill that Doc Rivers is like. There's a lot of people now trying to throw Doc Rivers like, oh, he's a terrible head coach and this is what he's overrated. Like, no, you're capping right now. Doc Rivers is a hell of a coach.
Fine. Playoffs, we gotta have a different conversation.
Yeah, I just hate Doc Rivers. He lost a 3-1 lead 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah, I hate that. He got that against him. But other than that. No, Doc Rivers.
That's crazy. That's a crazy stat. That's like Jeezy when he said he won Trap of the Year 4 times in a row. How you lose 3-1 leads 3 times in a row?
That's like, how in a row? He didn't lose them in a row. He didn't lose them in a row.
He didn't lose them in a row, but 3 times in your career?
Yeah,
3 times in his career. He lost the Orlando and the Pistons back in 2002.
And not when you could kind of give him a pass because it was Orlando, young team.
But twice
to the Prime T-Mac though.
Prime T-Mac. You're right.
Prime T-Mac. You know what I'm saying? Like you had this was T-Mac when it was T-Mac and Kobe neck and neck T-Mac. So yeah, man. And then he lost a 3-1 lead, I think, with the Clippers, and then again
with the Clippers.
Look, I think the Sixers are at the point now where they're just throwing things against the wall and seeing what sticks, right? So like they're like Nick brought up a great point. What is this Sixers team? Like, what is this Sixers team? Like, nobody knows. There's not a basketball, unless you're a diehard Sixers fan, you can't sit here and tell me that you know for sure what the Sixers team is going to be.
Sheldon got something cooked up. Man, he got some bullshit excuse. Go ahead.
The Sixers team is going to be nice. They just added Seth. That's all they really needed was a good.
That was a good pickup. Seth Curry was a good pickup.
They're going to be nice. Ben going to make some moves. He going to take strides this year with Doc, and we're gonna see what they can be.
And I've been hearing Ben Simmons is taking strides for 5 years. Remember last year when everybody threw bouquets at this man? Like they threw a parade at this man because he had two pointers in practice.
Yeah,
he didn't have Doc.
Get out of here, man. Is that the bar we're setting now for Philly?
He didn't have Doc, huh?
Is that the bar we're setting now for Philly?
Yes, man. He didn't have Doc last year, so he's gonna make some in some games this year.
I think the key to the Sixers team is Joel Embiid. It begins and ends with him. If he takes his game to the next level, if he stops trying to be a Twitter troll and a Twitter personality and dedicates his body to staying in shape and staying, becoming that great player that we all feel like Joel Embiid can be, then the Sixers are going to be straight. If Joel Embiid continues to be the guy that's a tease, that is just tantalizing talent and puts up numbers, but you just like, damn, it could still be a little bit more than that. Philly's going to be the same thing. And then, of course, you throw in the fact that Ben Simmons can't shoot, couldn't hit water off a boat. Then what is the Sixers team? They are a 45-38 team, and they'll be a 4th or 5th seed in the East and lose in the first round, like they've been doing.
No, man. Who else did we add this summer? I can't remember who else we added.
Nobody that's gonna really make a difference.
See, when you can't even remember who you added, it wasn't that impactful.
That's what
I
I'm
was
saying.
so excited about getting rid of Al Horford. I didn't know what to do. That was enough.
Yeah, Elton Brand is still there. He's still liable to fuck it up.
Yeah, but he's not making decisions right now.
Shout out to Elton Brand though, man. That's my guy, Duke, the brother, baby.
Yeah, whatever.
That's the problem.
How you gonna talk shit about it and shout him out?
Hey, I shout out Elton Brand, the player, the GM, boy. Like Mike. I love Mike. Mike's my guy, right? But the owner Mike, the GM Mike, the executive Mike, god damn.
Yeah.
We'll
You're
see.
right.
Hey, he got what's it, Melo.
We'll see.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
see what he
Danny
do.
Green. Danny Green, man. Danny Green's gonna have a bounce back year. I said that. Mark that down on your calendar. Danny Green.
Shelton, you smoking the green if you think that's gonna mean something.
You smoking the green.
Danny Green, man. Wow.
Oh man, Danny Green, boy.
I got this.
Still mad he missed that damn shot against fucking Miami in game.
Y'all still won. Chill out, bro. Anyway, trying to feel
Dwight
you.
Howard
So
too,
sorry for
man.
you.
Dwight Howard's there too. Come on.
Oh yeah, Dwight Howard is there. I forgot.
Dwight Howard and Joel Embiid gonna get in a fight in the locker room. Trust me. It's gonna happen.
Hell no. I want to be a fly on the wall in that locker room for that squad. What the hell are they gonna talk about? But no, I got another story for the NBA as far as Steph Curry. He is in contract extension talks with Golden State, but he says he wants to finish his career in Golden State, but they're saying that the contracts are ongoing as far as
it's gonna happen. There's nothing to see here. It's gonna happen.
I agree with
He's
Matt.
a lifer. He's gonna wear that jersey to the end of his career.
Yeah.
Is that a mistake? Is it a mistake for him to commit to the Golden State Warriors in this current state?
No,
not at all.
He's an icon there. Why would you go anywhere else?
Exactly.
Yeah, he
I'm
has
with Manny
nothing
on
left
this one.
He has nothing left to
Manny,
prove in his career.
where did Mike go? Did Mike end his career in Chicago?
That was a different situation.
I'm just saying.
You're right.
Did LeBron end his career in Cleveland?
You're right. Nigga, LeBron is a whole. LeBron is a whole nother. LeBron is a whole nother category. LeBron may play for another team before it's all said and done.
I'm only asking questions. All right. The answer
Touche.
is all.
Touche. You are right.
But the Jordan, that situation was completely different.
Two different situations.
Unless we hear some stuff about the Golden State owners and GM, but until then, we kind of heard hearsay a little bit about how the Chicago Bulls organization front office was during the Jordan era. We're not hearing them same talks with the Golden State. So that's a completely different situation.
They have no Jerry Krauses walking around.
Yeah,
they have no Dan Gilberts walking around. This is a totally different situation.
Totally different situation.
Only way I can see it changing if the Warriors completely fall on hard times, like if Klay Thompson never plays another basketball game, and Draymond just completely falls off the map, and James Wiseman is a bust, and it just again, all crazy situations that I don't think any one of us here believe is going to happen, right? So. Yeah, I don't think it's nothing to see here, man. I think Steph is going to finish his career with the Warriors, as it should. And I like seeing more of that, man. I like seeing guys play their whole careers in one location. I'm an old school guy when it comes to that, man. Like I want to see.
Why?
The only reason
it means more, man. Like it means more to me. It means more.
You still have the memories of the nigga and with the other team, like those don't just disappear.
I think the only reason for a player to leave though is because they have to prove something else somewhere else, or it's a better situation. For Steph, there's no better situation. He's already climbed that mountain.
He's an icon there. He's a god.
Hold on, Sheldon. He do got something to prove this year, though. Let's not get it twisted.
He really does not, though.
He got to prove
he don't
he
got
that
nothing
nigga.
to prove, man.
He got to prove that he that nigga.
Man, that's narrative.
Right
man.
Nah,
he gotta get out of here.
He got to prove that he that.
Don't start with me. Don't start with that nonsense.
If Russ, you was talking about tradition, Manny. Most of the motherfuckers you like proved that they was that nigga. So you ain't even got to question that. I'm talking about Steph. Steph as the man. We see Giannis.
You was bringing up Russell. What was you about to say about Russell Westbrook?
Russell Westbrook got his team to the playoffs as that nigga.
And got eliminated in the first round.
Please don't
That's
compare
fine.
Russell Westbrook to
He got
Steph
eliminated
Curry,
in the first
please.
round.
Please don't compare these
How many
two.
He won
championships
an
Steph Curry
MVP
got?
that year too.
Please
He won
don't compare
MVP that
these.
year.
Don't
But he got
compare
eliminated
these
the first round though, Nick. So what's your
Please.
point?
Please.
So
My
you said so Nick. So you saying all Steph Curry got to do is get his team to the playoffs?
He got to get to his team to the playoffs as higher than the
Oh
sixth seed.
no! Now you
get
moving the
outta here.
goalposts.
Yeah,
Now you
man.
moving the goalposts. So based off your Russell Westbrook measurement, all Steph have to do
Actually,
is
you know what?
go to
Yup,
state
you're
to
right.
the playoffs.
Get him to the playoffs. Get him to the playoffs.
So you don't think he can do that? You don't think he can do that this season?
I want to see it, B. I'm just asking. I just want to see it.
He really,
You know what I
to
mean?
be honest, man, he really don't have to do nothing else.
He
No.
don't. Right.
His
Like,
his
he's a-
legacy
he's
is
a-
set, man. His legacy is
three-time
set.
champion.
This
He gotta
man
show me
changed
that.
basketball.
He
This
did.
man changed basketball.
He did.
Like the game is completely
He
it's
changed
played
because of
differently
him.
now
That
because
of
man-
of
Steph
him.
Curry.
Like
And
you
that
see
man did-
Trae Young, who you see? Oh, that's Steph Curry
Steph
molded
Curry.
that. Like
he
Any
did all that.
any 6'3" light-skinned dude to come into the
Yeah.
NBA for the next 20 years
Kenny,
that can
he-
shoot is going to be compared to Steph Curry.
it's gonna be compared
with
to
a
Steph
glass
Curry.
ankle. He did all that with a glass ankle. This
Yep.
man came from a little small mid-major to these mountain heights. There's nothing else he has to prove. He
Nothing.
can ride out in the sunset at Golden State and always be known for being Steph and doing what he's
We're
doing.
gonna have to agree to disagree on that.
He's going down in history as the greatest shooter of NBA of all time.
And I don't
shooter in
disagree with that.
history.
I don't agree
Greatest
to
shooter in
disagree with that.
history. He
And-
might be the
and he's
third
a
best
one-
point guard, arguably third best point guard to ever play basketball. It's debatable, but
Is he a point
make that-
guard?
Yes,
Yes.
he's a point
Yes,
guard.
he's a point
He's a
guard.
combo guard, but he's a point guard.
He's a point
Anytime
guard.
you're known by one name,
So we say so. Kyrie's is he a point guard? Are we defining him as that too? Because he basically the same shit.
Yeah, Kyrie's a point guard.
yeah,
Kyrie's a point
All right.
guard. He's a different type of point guard, but Kyrie's a point guard. Look,
yeah.
Steph Curry is a point guard through and through. And
Yeah.
that was the thing. Steph Curry was not a point guard throughout his whole life. Like that, he
Right.
made himself into a great point guard.
A great one. And-
That's even more accolades to his name. Like but people forget when he was coming out of Davidson, people weren't sure was he. Matter of fact, his senior year, when he returned for his senior year, scouts and everybody told him because he tried to come out after that hot tournament run his junior season, and the scouts were telling him like, "Yo, you really gotta learn to be more of a playmaker and a ball handler."
That's why he came back.
Point
And he
guard.
proved that.
And
He proved that.
it. And
Yeah.
and not only has he proven that, he's far exceeded what anybody thought he was going to be
Right.
as a point guard.
Especially with those ankles. Like I
Yeah,
said,
because I thought, hey,
I was
Shelton,
worried, man.
You're
I was
right,
worried.
Shelton. I thought he was gonna be an injury bust. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this dude.
I thought he was on his way to be Brandon Roy.
dude,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
I thought he was gonna end up being like somebody
Damn.
like that. Like what if he was? I thought Steph Curry was gonna be a what if type of
Yeah.
player. Like man, if he
and
could only
anytime
stay
you
healthy.
know, like I said, if you're known by one name other than Nene, you are great. If,
Right.
You know, Magic, Mike, Magic, Jordan, Kobe, Steph. Those are one name players. That's it.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. Once you get there, that's it.
That's yeah.
He still I gotta see him in the playoffs, but without Clay. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Well, you will.
Yes, that's me.
You will
That's
this-
me.
Oh my god.
So let me ask you. So if Steph gets to the playoffs and they get beat in 5 games, what you gonna say?
I ain't gonna say shit, B.
Yeah,
That's
you a
gonna be the
damn
first time.
liar.
That's the first
Okay,
time.
man.
Hey, I'm like, what's today's date? Today is December
gonna say-
8th,
Yeah.
10 11 p.m. Eastern
Mark
Standard
this day.
Time. No. If
I ain't
that
gonna say
happened, Nick gonna be ready to talk all types of shit. And I'm be like, Nick, based off your standards, you saying you want to see him do that, and he did it.
How many
So-
how many games did Westbrook?
5. That's why I brought up that
It was
example.
5
Westbrook
games.
lost in 5. That MVP season, he got out in the first round in 5 games.
All right,
Listen,
then,
I
he
think
gotta win.
Steph-
He gotta win the MVP this
I
year.
think
too.
Steph is going to be just
Oh,
fine.
whatever.
I keep saying it. James Wiseman to me was the best player in the draft. They got a pick and roll monster to go along with
Yep,
with Steph
they do.
Curry.
They do.
That was what that team needed. He's going to be just straight,
He
man.
is what the team needed, but we already know Obi-Wan Kenobi in New York is the best player in the draft. So we'll
Shout
see
out to
lights
Obi.
in the garden.
We'll see.
We'll see lights in the garden.
We shall see. We shall see if Kenyon Martin. We're going to see if Kenyon Martin Jr. can ball or not.
I think Steph gonna come back with a vengeance this season, man. I think Steph gonna come back. I think he got a chip on his shoulder this
He
season.
need to cut them damn braids off though.
He do.
Yeah.
But I think he gonna come back and like remind people. That's what I think. I think he gonna come back to try to remind people because everybody's starting to kind of forget. You know how NBA media is and social media NBA is like everyone's so caught in the moment. and you know, don't get me wrong, Nick. You know I love me some Dame Lillard, but you remember how everybody was just like, "Oh yeah, Dame Lillard, the best point guard in the league," and I think Steph Curry has been hearing those talks, and I think he's gonna come back with a vengeance. I think this season.
We'll see, but if he break his hand again, we know that he gave up on the season. That's all I'm gonna say.
He gonna give up because of an injury.
I'm just gonna say
the season was over when he broke his hand.
Nah. If you that nigga, you stay through. All right.
Oh man, get out of here.
By the time he came back, they were like 40 games under 500. Come on,
exactly. He could have came back earlier. You know he could have came
get
back
out of
earlier.
here.
He could have came back earlier.
He didn't want to. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna be getting wise."
The Warriors season was over as soon as he broke his hand.
Yeah, it was a wrap.
It was over.
It was a wrap.
Yeah, he did the smart thing. Honestly, he's gonna come back. He's got miles now for years now because he basically took a sabbatical. Yeah. So
he's gonna need it because he ain't got Clay this year, and he got Draymond.
They're gonna be straight. I'm telling y'all, people are writing the epitaph of the Warriors way too soon.
They are way too soon, man.
They're gonna be straight.
I mean, I'm not saying anybody come in and be a number 1 seed, but I'm with you.
I still think they could be a top 3 seed as currently constructed.
They could, yeah, they could.
Fuck out of here.
I don't know if it's gonna happen, but if they be a number 3,
outside of the Lakers and Denver, outside of the Lakers and Denver,
yeah,
they could be top 3. They could be a top 3 seed.
I'll say Dallas before I say Golden State.
I still would take that. I would take Golden State over Dallas right now.
I even take the Clippers before I take Golden State.
Really? PG-13?
Hey, they got
PG-13 who's throwing his coach under the bus. Let's talk about
this. But did y'all see what Doc Rivers said though? He said because when PG made his comments about Doc Rivers, and he was just like, "Yeah, Ty Lue was right next to me this whole time.
Right next to me.
It's not going to be nothing different. You're not going to see.
I ain't like that comment about Doc. I ain't like.
He's another marshmallow.
He's
another marshmallow.
Yeah, PG. You talking about Paul George? Yeah, he's really shown me.
Soft as fuck.
He's soft as Twinkies feeling, man. He's really shown me that these last 2 years. I'm kind of disappointed.
Doc ain't had to talk about Lou like that. Lou probably got some whole new schemes.
What you mean? He didn't talk about Lou.
He didn't say nothing to him. He just brought up a fact that, the guy that's taking over.
He's saying Ty Lue the same nigga as me. Nah, nigga, he ain't.
No, he just said
he never said that.
3-1 lead, nigga.
He never said that. He never said that, man.
That's what he basically said. He's ain't
nothing. He basically tactfully sunned this nigga. He was like, "Yo, you do realize that the coach that's coaching you now was my assistant coach, right? So
right, you know what I'm saying?
That we actually probably talked about these schemes, and he at some point or another agreed with me. So what do you think is going to be different?
And my thing is like, I think that Ty Lue learned from those mistakes because clearly it was a mistake for him to play like that. So that's why I'm saying like we should see something different. We see the same shit, then shit, you gotta blow up the whole fucking team.
Blow it up.
Yeah, man.
Blow it up. Paul George is soft, bro. I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want nobody. I'm putting this to the chat. I don't want to hear nobody ever claim nothing about Paul George. That dude is soft cotton. He's a marshmallow.
At this point, Paul George has got to show and prove with me. Like in order for him to shut me up, I better see him have ball out and have out of body experience in these playoffs. Like at this point, Paul George, like you said, you're nothing now. You just gotta show me what you can do on that court now. Shut me up. Make me look stupid.
Paul George is the worst type of player in a way because he's got Batman talent, but he's got Robin Hart.
Yeah.
Not even Robin.
I don't even know if he got Robin Hart. Yeah.
I mean, shit, we seen Robins that had way more heart than that. You know what I'm saying? So
he got Wonder Twins heart.
I mean, he's something. It's soft though. It's definitely soft under there.
Yeah, he got a Wonder Twin heart.
Yeah, man.
All right. Any more NBA stories I want to talk about before we move to NFL?
What y'all think about the? I think I sent this to y'all about all the teams that got the primetime games. And I remember saying, I was surprised. I think I think the Hornets don't have any. The Hawks don't have any.
They got like one. They got like one. That's it.
Like I said, the Hornets should have had at least 5, and I say that because you got
these are small markets though.
It is, but out of the draft, you got the biggest name in Melo.
So you think the Hornets should have had more games than the Hawks?
I'm not going to say more than the Hawks. I think the Hawks and the Hornets both equally should have had at least about 5. People are tuning in to see Trey, and people are tuning in to see Melo. Those names alone are bigger than some of the names that we're seeing week in and week out.
I agree
People
with you
wanna
about
see it.
Melo. I'm not there with Trae Young. Not saying that he's not the player that should be highlighted. I just feel like for a lot of because this is what these schedule makers, they make this for the basketball wives out there, the soccer moms out there
Right.
that don't watch sports, but they know who Steph Curry is. They know who LeBron is. Do you think a white mom in Kansas know who Trae Young is? They don't know who Trae Young is, but they heard of LeVar Ball. They know that last name Ball. So I agree with you that Charlotte is surprising that they don't have more primetime games. I just feel like Atlanta's still kind of bubbling under the surface. They like the unsigned hype. They're just bubbling under the surface of it. They just got to do something. I feel like if the Hawks do something this year, this is a big year for Atlanta. Like, I'm not saying Atlanta has to go out there and win 45 games. Right. Atlanta has to be productive this year. They have to have a good, solid season. And then I think next year you'll see Atlanta start.
Yeah, I want to see. Yeah, I think this year for the Hawks should be. I don't want to make it sound so bad, but like this should be an identity year. Like, we should know.
I agree.
What is the Hawks' identity this season?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I'm not saying they should win 45, 50 games, be a 3 seed or whatever. But like after this season, hopefully if everyone's healthy, healthy always plays a factor. If most of the people is healthy for the majority of the season, we should have an identity for the Hawks. We should know who they are. We should know who the Hawks are.
Yep. An identity and a culture. They know that word again, culture. Yep.
Because they have all the talent. They amassed the talent. Because these guys, they got some players on that team.
Yeah, they look, the Hawks, they did pretty good this offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, they did damn good. So they picked up some key players, some good veterans. I think Rondo can help. He can put the IQ.
Rondo's a big pickup.
Yeah, I think he can he's gonna be great locker room and everything for Trae Young, I believe, man. He can
if Rondo's mind is right. Like, I feel like Rondo got his second ship. So I feel like
I think he is. Yeah, I think at this point Rondo is in. Look, I didn't got 2 championships on 2 most historic franchises in NBA history. You know what? I mean, I think he's in that mentoring phase. The same way Chauncey Billups was once he was kind of towards the end of his career. He kind of was like, I'm in that mentoring phase, helping out the young guys.
Yeah, Rondo want to coach.
Yeah, I think he'll be great for Trae Young, man.
Manny, they paying him $50 million to be in Atlanta. All right, he gonna be good.
That's what I'm saying.
This is his retirement.
No, not like that. I mean, like, we all know who Rondo is. Rondo's the type of guy that you love him for the postseason. Do you love him for 82 games?
Yep.
Rondo be having coaches wanting to strangle this nigga. Like, let's be
real.
real.
Those usually be the coaches. The teammates, they don't really be saying that Rondo.
Yeah, and that's what I meant by that. Like, I meant from the coaching perspective. Like, I don't mean it from the teammates.
Oh, okay.
But they're at least 2 deep at every position though on that team, and that can be a good or a bad thing because you don't really have a standout guy besides Trae. If they work John Collins like they should, they'll be okay. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see
what happens. I'm not a Hawks fan, but of course I'm a Pierce fan, so we'll see what he can do.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. I think the one of the biggest headlines in the NFL as far as this past Sunday was the Browns and the Titans.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
First question, can Baker Trent Dilfer this year to a Super Bowl?
No, sir.
That team is flawed. That team is flawed. That's a flawed team. That was the first. I think that was like the first over 500 team they've beaten all year was the Titans. And they almost gave that damn game away. They tried their hardest to give that game away in the second half. Cleveland's a nice story. It's a good story. I think they have a good, solid football team. Stefanski looks like he knows what he's doing. But realistically, Baker Mayfield, I just don't think he's the guy. Baker Mayfield is Jeff Garcia. He'll play well enough. He's going to be a good, solid quarterback. You can win with him. You can win a division title with him. But in the crucible of a championship, is Baker Mayfield a guy that's going to win you big games in January? No.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Browns schedule. So they lost to the Ravens first game. They beat the Bengals. They beat Washington. They beat Cowboys.
That record is not that impressive.
They beat the Colts. They lost to the Steelers.
Colts are a good team.
They beat the Bengals again. They lost to the Raiders. They beat the Texans. They beat the Eagles, and they beat Jacksonville. And then they just beat the Titans. So yeah, man, you're right. That's what The first
outside. Well, the Colts. The Colts were they beat the Colts, right?
above 500.
Yeah.
They beat the Colts. Yeah.
Those
So
are
this is
two-
only their second win against a really good top.
But they
And
still
a lot
got
of
they
those
still got
games
the
they should've
Ravens.
lost.
They still got the Ravens, Giants, Jets, and then the Steelers.
They never beat the Steelers and they never beat the Ravens.
and the
If they-
Giants
if they-
is hot right now.
Yeah, we needed to talk about that. The Giants beating Seattle.
Oh, you know,
That was
hey man,
unexpected.
I'm getting to it. Yes, don't worry about that.
I know you are.
But no, I think I've never seen the Browns this good though. Like and
Yeah, it's
and
been a minute.
while we know that what we believe to see what Baker can be, that was also a damn good Baker that we saw on Sunday. Granted, it was for nothing. They wasn't just playing a regular
he
season.
threw for like 350 and like 5 touchdowns.
But see,
He
Baker Mayfield will have these games. He'll have these games where he'll throw for 400 yards or he'll throw 4 touchdowns, and then the next week against
Play the Ravens.
the Ravens or whatever, he'll have a 60 quarterback rating and throw 3 interceptions. Like that's just who Baker Mayfield is. He's gonna tantalize you with greatness at times, but then eventually he'll just revert back to being who he is. He's an average quarterback at best.
Yeah, because
he's an above average quarterback. He's a solid.
I won't even
quarterback.
call him an above average quarterback at all. I mean, like you said, he has these games are too far and few between. This man is throwing for, I think he's averaged 200 yards a game at best.
Yep.
He's okay. He's doing just enough to win this year. You look at those games that they won them, but they didn't win them because of him.
The best player on that team, besides obviously, it's Nick Chubb.
And the second best player is Kareem Hunt. They got the greatest running game in the NFL. Them boys can't be stopped.
And a monster offensive line.
Yeah.
They know who they are. See, we talk about culture and identity. They know who they are. We're gonna run the football, ground and pound, control the clock, and have that ferocious defense that we have. And we just go and Baker just don't make any stupid mistakes, and that's it.
That's it. And that's what's been the difference in them is Baker hadn't been throwing as many dumb interceptions because he's trying to fit the ball to OBJ, trying to find him and make sure he gets his touches. Just throwing the ball any kind of way and throwing it away. That's what's been saving them. It's like you said, they just had to talk to him and say, look, just don't mess up. That's all you got to do. Now, he had a great game. He played out of his mind in this last game, but that's more of an anomaly than it is a regular occurrence. It's just not going to happen. This man's not going to throw for 300 yards a game because it's not who he is. So, no, he's not the answer long term, but, he's doing a great job for them this year, and you can't knock that record. But once again, they're not. When it matters most, they're not going to win it. They're not. Because with that second half, they didn't do nothing in the second half.
Nope.
They dominated that.
They had 38 points in the first half.
They were up comfortably. You see a lot of teams do that. So to be fair, but still, the Browns who they are. They're a good, solid football team, but they're not beating the top.
But also too, though, man, think about this. Like, I know they play the Ravens next week, and they played them in week 1. The week 1 Ravens is a completely different team than this Ravens that we're seeing now.
That's true. But this is going even back to last year. They just, again, this is a historic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is historic with the Browns. Like, the Browns never historically beat the Ravens or the Steelers. They just don't. And until they do that, that's their Super Bowl. If they can beat the Steelers and the Ravens in a big game, then they're gravy. They're good.
I think they got a shot, man. So like, if Browns beat the Ravens, because are they gonna have Lamar Jackson back?
Yeah. Lamar
he's playing tonight. He's
I forgot
right now.
I completely forgot that there was a game today.
Yeah, he's been balling.
It's Tuesday. Who the fuck thinks of an NFL game on a Tuesday?
It's Corona.
I feel you.
Right.
Oh, they're playing against the Cowboys. That's why he balling, huh?
I mean, shit, he balling because he Lamar Jackson. We gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Speaking of another team that's balling right now, we got the Saints. Man, they seem like that. Well, I think they won 9 straight.
Saints are the best team in the NFC.
I think so. I mean, if you asking me, that's what I was going to ask the question: who can stop the Saints?
The Saints, Drew Brees.
Pretty much.
You think Drew Brees should not come back?
I think he should come back, but
as the coach,
let's be fair. The Saints should have been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years, man. Let's be fair. The reason the Saints have not been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years, the defense gave up big plays in big moments, and Drew Brees has played terrible in the postseason the last couple of years. Let's just keep it 100. Like I tweeted this last year. Like Taysom Hill was the best quarterback on the Saints last year in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
He was like,
Yeah.
Drew Brees has been terrible. He got outplayed by Jared Goff that one year. Now I get it. I know everybody's going to say the refs screwed him. True. But when Drew Brees needed to make plays and he needed to win the game, he did not respond. He played terribly. So, and then last year, Kirk Cousins outplayed him in that game. And they actually looked better with Taysom Hill was in the game in spurts. So again, what's going to stop the Saints is their defense not showing up, which they have the tendency to do in big spots, and Drew Brees. If Drew Brees plays well, I mean, they don't even need him to be the Drew Brees of old, throwing 400 yards a game. They just need him to be good, solid.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the way the defense has been playing. That deep been playing some ball lately. So I don't see how they can be stopped unless Seattle gets it in gear and start making some stuff happen again. I think that's possible just because of who Russ is. He ain't fell off that bad, but we just have to see what happens.
I feel like Drew shouldn't come back. I think what Sean Payton is starting to prove is that he's somewhat like Belichick, where he just needs a quarterback that can execute at this point. I think that with what the injury that Drew Brees went through, like another hit could be it for him. So I don't think them talking about him rushing back anyway. Like I feel like this is even a rush back for even us to talk about him being put back in the lineup. Like I think Taysom Hill is good, and you still have Jameis Winston if need be, someone who just threw for 5,000 yards and 30 tubs last year. Like you have options. You don't really need to go back to Drew. Just like how Manny's explained, like we've seen Drew the last 3 years not get it done, get close but no cigar. So I think right now you ride out Taysom Hill. Like, I mean, Sean Payton, you fought for Taysom Hill to start when everybody else in their mama said don't. So now ride out with him. Same way that they was, trying to do that in Denver with
and how's that Payton looking, by the way? Remember so many people scoffed at the fact that Taysom Hill was named the starter, and Sean Payton and Taysom Hill are making a lot of people look like idiots.
Granted, I think what he's faced against Atlanta and who else?
Hey, the NFL teams, they're on the schedule.
The NFL teams, but luckily they're in the division. So, like for the most part, so I think I'm intrigued to see them in the playoffs. But right now, I mean, like Shelton said, like they got some of the best. This probably is the best defense in the NFL right now. I think they've held opponents to 3 points, 9 points, 12 points, something like it's ridiculous what they're holding them to. So.
Yeah, they may be the best. I initially thought it was the Steelers, but the Steelers have suffered too many injuries right now on defense. So yeah, I mean it could be the Saints.
All right. Next question. This is something that I'm gonna focus on you, Manny, when I ask this question. Are the Jets going in a better direction than the Houston Texans?
Yes. Yes.
Explain why.
Well, look, I know that may seem like a hot take and whatnot, but right now, you got to forget about the season. This season's done. They're going to go 0-16. Adam Gase is a moron. We all know this, right? And, we just know this, right? After this year, let's start focusing on 2021 and beyond. The Jets have the second most cap space in the league. They have about $90 million in cap space, give or take, depending on who you look as a source. They're going to have, I believe they have like 8 picks in the first. Over the next couple years, they have 3 first-round picks. They have, and just in this draft or this future draft upcoming, I think they have like 4 picks in the top 100. Again, cap space. Conceivably, they're going to draft Trevor Lawrence. They're going to have the cap space, and they're going to have the draft capital to build that roster up. What do the Texans have besides Deshaun Watson? They have no draft. They have no future assets. All their players conceivably are on roids or HGH or whatever. I don't know what the hell is going on in Houston, but the motherfuckers is Balco 2.0. I don't know what the hell is going on in Houston. I just think Houston's just in a rut right now, man. Like honestly, right now, if you're looking at it objectively, and I know again it's the Jets, they're a national joke. Again, Don't look at it from this season perspective. I'm talking about 2021 and beyond right now. I just don't see where's the light at the end of the tunnel for Houston. I mean, again, outside of Deshaun Watson, what do they have?
That's why I asked the question, because when I was thinking about it, like, at least I know what direction they're going. If you're going to tank, then tank. And they clearly, the Jets, based off the last game, clearly are in tank
Shout out
mode.
to Greg Williams, man.
Even though they threw Greg Williams under the bus, it's clearly a tank mode.
Because he did what was right.
And it cost him his job.
Think about that. The fact that Adam Gase fired Greg Williams is just everything that you need to know about the Jets organization right now. But be that as it may.
But I'm just saying. But at least I know what direction they're going. At least I know it's going to be a fire sale at the end of the season. Like, everybody getting fired. You know.
Yeah, when you go on 16,
everything's blowing up. But with Houston, is like you said, Manny. Like, they have a superstar QB in my mind, but they have nothing else outside of that. Literally nothing else. There's no head coach, GM. It's just the owner and the quarterback, and misfit toys because they gave away their best one this past all season. And it's like,
Will Fuller can't play a full
season.
season. Yeah, Will Fuller can't play a full season.
He's trying to stay off the drugs, like, at this point. So you have nothing. You have what are you playing? Like,
they have JJ Watt. They have JJ Watt, but Watt's, he's not what he used to be. He's still really good, but he's not what he used to be.
He looked better in them Subway commercials than he do on the field. I'm letting you know that right now.
Damn, that's a lot. Jeez.
I'm not
gonna go that far. He's not the same player, but he's still very
Watt,
good.
then if you ain't the same, remember when we saw Ray Lewis in that Super Bowl with that mechanical Optimus Prime arm? It's like, all right, that's Ray Lewis, but he ain't the Ray Lewis that we used to see.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far with JJ Watt. Like, I still think he's a very good player. I still think he may not be, at that level anymore, but he's still really good. Look, JJ Watt's not the problem in Houston. We all know what the problem is in Houston, and they need a complete change of direction. They need a complete fire sale or overhauling, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be interested to see what coach they get. You would think with Deshaun Watson, they should have the pick of the litter to get a top name to come there, right? You would think.
Right. And they should. They've solved they have the most important position on the field covered. If you don't have a quarterback, you have nothing. And they have not just a quarterback. They got a good quarterback. He keeps them in games that they have no business being in. And he's done it with his best weapons being gone. So in saying that, I'm not that far down on Houston. A lot of those games, including Sunday, which was a heartbreaker, they had every opportunity to win. So I don't think they're that far away from being what they need to be. They're only a couple plays away from having a different record, flipping this record around. So in saying that, I think that they're closer still than New York. Now, like you said, in the future, the Jets have a brighter trail because they got more pieces to work with. But Houston got the main one covered. And he's proved he could do it no matter what.
But yeah, with a QB with no team, I mean, like, this is going to my next question since we're talking about quarterbacks. It looks like the Eagles, with Carson Wentz and now Jalen Hurts. Is like, you can see what a QB is like with a horrible cast around it or just no sense of direction. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Do y'all agree with the whole?
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, the Eagles situation is very, very interesting because it's weird. Like, do you put all the blame on Doug Peterson? Do you put all the blame on Howie Roseman? Do you put all the blame on Carson Wentz? They all have a share of that pie, right? So which one is the most, right? I don't know. I still think Carson Wentz can be a very good quarterback. I just think that he's a guy that I think there's a confidence issue there. I think that there's clearly a divide between him and Peterson. We don't know what. We probably will find out after the season, but there's something there. Something's amiss there. But you're right, Nick. I mean, you're seeing it right now. You're seeing it in real life. You can have a good quarterback or a guy who has the makings to be a good quarterback, but if the pieces around him are not there, great. You have a good quarterback, but what? I mean, B can speak to this. Matthew Stafford. I have my issues with Stafford, but Stafford's a good quarterback who's been in Detroit forever, and
It's been
pieces
a
around
messed
him
up
have been
situation.
So, I feel like too many people make too much of like, oh, you got the quarterback, you got everything. No, you
Right.
still need an
Right.
infrastructure around you.
Still,
You need a coach. You need
Need an O-line.
You need an O-line.
Yeah.
You need an infrastructure around a great quarterback. You know what I mean? You just can't throw, you could throw Joe Montana on the Texans. They still wouldn't win. It don't matter. You could throw Elway, you could throw them all three at the same time. They're still not going to win because they have nothing. They have nothing.
I think that's important to note, but regardless, that's the most critical and criticized position on the field. Outside of all the things we named, the quarterback is the face of the franchise. And
Absolutely.
if he's out there, he has to perform. No matter, nobody wants to hear, his team ain't around him. We talk about Carson Wentz and the weapons he has. And I hear a lot of people say that, which is true. I'm not saying that it's not true. But at the same time, I expect more from him than I get. And to say that he is shell-shocked is an understatement. The man needs to come out the field regardless. If nothing else, he needs to watch for a couple games.
No one's arguing that, Shelton. No one's arguing that. I'm not gonna throw Carson Wentz to the wolves just yet. I'm not. Now, maybe after this year, if they give him if he's still the starter after going into next year, and he gets 1 year of this. Right, he don't get 2 years. Now, if this continues next year, then of course, yeah. But I think with Carson Wentz, man, I think it also shows, man, when you bring these guys back from injury way too quick. Like Carson Wentz had a serious injury, and the Eagles could not wait to bring this man back and put him on the field.
No, I don't even think that's that, because
I feel like that's a part of it.
They gave him a lot of time to be off because Nick Foles has played a lot of games. Like I think Carson felt like he was in a rush because he was like, this other nigga he won a Super Bowl with my squad.
You gotta talk these niggas off the ledge. You gotta save these niggas from themselves. Like if you're the Eagles, you're like, yo, Carson, take your time. Like I said this,
and they did that
but
they did that by paying him. Isn't that what all the players say? Like, if you want to show me that you care about me, pay me. Like you show me on a bank account, and like he's the third highest paid player in the whole league, and will be like that for the next probably couple years. Like that says a lot of value. Like we even traded the other nigga to make sure that he ain't nobody else did. Like that's like a rich man getting rid of his mistress. Like, look, baby, I got rid of her. All right, it's all you.
Look, the Eagles' biggest mistake is that, well, Carson's mistake is that I think he came back from injury. We'll never know. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not, we'll never know. I feel like he rushed himself back from injury. And I feel like he peaked too early. Because remember, I mean, let's be honest, like Carson Wentz has had 1 year in his life of just being really, really an upper echelon quarterback. His rookie year, he was okay. He had flashes his rookie year. He had a typical rookie season. And then the year he came back after injury, he got hurt again to end the season, and Nick Foles came in. That was that year that they played the Bears in the first round, in the wild card round. And then last year he had a pretty good statistical season, but you could kind of see that the signs were there where things were just not quite there. And then of course he has this season. So realistically, I would pose the question: do we even know what Carson Wentz is?
We do not.
Outside of 1 year, do we know?
We do not.
But I tell you what, we know what he isn't. And like I said, for me, either he needs psychological help or something else, because the man is a shell of himself. He's afraid. It's almost like I don't even know what to compare it to. He's I don't know if y'all remember Rick Ankiel, the pitcher that just couldn't find home plate anymore. Mm-hmm. That's what he's got now. He's just a shell of himself, and that's a mental thing more so than physical. He's just scared right now, and it's doing no good to have kept him in the lineup this long. I think they should have made this move a long time ago, just to see where. I can't take that back. Not a long time ago, maybe a game or two ago, so we could at least give him a rest and let him see what's going on around him, kind of calm him down, just to see what's going on the field. It wouldn't have hurt.
Yeah.
Even if you put him back out there the next week, you still should have set him down.
I will say this: for folks that think that Jalen Hurts is the answer, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the answer.
I don't think he's a problem though. I think I like.
No, he's not a problem. Look, am I arguing that the Eagles should not have benched Carson Wentz? Of course not. I think they should have. I would make the case they should have benched Carson Wentz 2 weeks ago, right? But I'm just for the folks because you know how it's going to be, right? You know, everybody's going to now have the rose-colored glasses when they're looking at Jalen Hurts. Like, oh, he's going to be the guy. Let's slow down. Jalen Hurts is what he is. Now we don't know what he is yet fully, but
I think he'll have more success this season than Carson Wentz. I know that's not saying much because Carson Wentz is like literally probably like the 32nd or 31st ranked quarterback in the league right now.
Right.
But I think because of his mobility and this is a mobile league right now. I mean, giving him with a whole week worth of preparation as the starter, I would like to see what he can do. I think he can actually do something. Now it's against the Saints, so I'm not saying that he's gonna do much, but he's gonna give a spark to that team. Team needs a spark.
Yeah, and that's what they need. And more than anything, they just need his stability and his leadership. He's stable. That man ain't gonna get happy feet in the pocket as soon as the ball is snapped. That if nothing else, that's what he's gonna add. And like I said, I watched him his senior year at Oklahoma, and you're right, Lincoln Riley did add to that man's game. He made him better, and he can see the field better. Now it's not gonna make him a perfect quarterback, but I think he's a serviceable starter, and he's gonna play in the league for a while.
We shall see. Yeah, we shall see. I mean, the Philly situation is interesting. I mean, it's one of the biggest storylines of the year. Just the complete descent of Carson Wentz. Because I don't even if you were the biggest Carson Wentz hater, I don't think you could have imagined this, right? Like, I don't think no one imagined that this would be, you know what I'm saying, how this kind of played out this year. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy to think. I have a question for y'all. Does Doug Peterson survive this?
Yes.
Not at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna survive this.
I think he survives this.
I think he does. First of all, Philly's loyal. I think the GM might be in trouble. I think the GM. Grossman. I forget his name, but he might be in trouble.
If nothing else, his play Carlton has been horrible. He's allowed certain things to happen, and he's directly responsible for that quarterback himself. And in saying that, he doesn't deserve to be around another year. To me, they showed factual evidence in this offseason, this draft, that he's going to stay by drafting another QB. You don't draft another QB just to fire the coach that was there for the other QB you drafted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you got to have some stability. And on top of that, it's Corona. And then on top of that, the team has been decimated with injuries. So it's like, how do you even get evaluations from anybody when you have so many injuries at key spots? So, and then on top of that, if they still win the division, he's going to stay because they still have a chance of doing that. So, like, there's so many things that still can go right. They just won the division last year. So, I don't see how you would get rid of a head coach like that. But since we're talking about the Eagles, they did play another team this past Sunday. They played the Green Bay Packers, and Aaron Rodgers looks like he's on fire. So much so that people are saying –
right now, it's looking like him and Mahomes right now is for the MVP. If they both keep up, they winning.
It's gonna be a hell of an MVP race.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a discussion though. I think it's Mahomes. I don't know why.
I think it's Rodgers. What Rodgers is doing. I mean, the thing with Mahomes, man, and I'm not trying to dog Mahomes because Mahomes is incredible.
Yeah, as you're gonna dog him, go ahead.
The dude plays with. I mean, look at that team. I mean, look at that offense, man. I mean, the shit is unfair. Like Tyreek Hill is a fucking cheat code. Like. Aaron Rodgers would kill to play with somebody like Tyreek Hill, right?
He got Devontae Adams.
He do have Devontae Adams, but Devontae Adams ain't Tyreek Hill, man. Tyreek Hill is just a whole nother.
I would say Devontae. I'm about to say I think Devontae Adams is the best receiver in between the two.
Oh my gosh,
he may be, but god damn, Tyreek. Every Sunday, Tyreek Hill does something that just makes me say like, wow, like
Tyreek
this shit
Hill is a special athlete, but Devontae Adams is probably the best receiver in the league. And I've been saying that for 2 years. Devontae is the most steady. He's gonna get his catches no matter what.
Good receiver, great receiver, great receiver. I'm not trying to. I'm just look. You can't go wrong with either one of them. Can't go wrong with either one of them.
They'll get and the reason why I say what I say is they'll be in the red zone, and he might as well call a play out loud. We're going to Devontae Adams on this play, and everybody knows it in the building. You still can't stop it, no matter what, and it happens every time.
I say. Go ahead. That's why you say what?
That's why I say he's the best because. He's going to get the ball in there in crunch time. They don't even try to run the ball at the goal line. They pass the ball at the goal line. Every time.
Every time. And I think, not only just Devontae Adams, don't Rodgers isn't he making like some other receivers look like all world?
Greg Lazard and
Yeah,
his last name is like a
Tunyon
T.
or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
like he making him look like he's all world, and that's all on Aaron.
Yeah,
Rodgers.
man. Like that's what I would give it to Aaron Rodgers, man, because he's playing with a supporting cast that outside of Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, like, dude, they don't have they don't even have a borderline Pro Bowler anywhere else on that offense, right?
So,
I mean, they got a good offensive line, so I'll give them that. But what Aaron Rodgers is doing, the thing with Mahomes is, man, he's got so many weapons that sometimes I feel like that, even if you don't want to knock Mahomes for that, you got to knock him a little bit. Like if he's 100,
how do you knock him for him having a good team?
No, I'm just saying because he just got so many pieces to work with that sometimes it's hard to like. You can make the case that Mahomes is the MVP every year, right? Because he's fucking playing with that roster. Not saying that he wouldn't do that if he just had Devontae Adams. Of course, Mahomes is Mahomes. I'm not dogging Mahomes at all. I'm just saying that I would personally give it to Aaron Rodgers because of what he's doing with less names than Mahomes is doing.
Bro, am I reading this right? That Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill are 2 and 3 in yards this season?
Yeah, Travis Kelce is the second leading receiver in the NFL in yards.
And Tyreek Hill is third, and he has 13 touchdowns.
You can make the case that Mahomes plays with the best receiver in football. You can make the argument. You can make that argument, and the best tight end in football.
Yeah, you could.
And the best coach.
But let me ask you this. Are they that because of Mahomes? Because Mahomes gets that ball to them.
Mahomes is incredible, man. Mahomes is just incredible. Like Mahomes is, you know how we tend to overhype guys? Like I feel like you can't hype him enough. Like Mahomes is just incredible. Like he's just.
So then why is he not the MVP? Because he plays with better toys?
I mean,
how are you not?
But it depends. But it depends on what you view. See, this is the lifelong argument people have when it comes to the MVP in every sport. What do you classify as the MVP? The MVP is just the best player in the league every year. If that's the case, Mahomes is the guy. If MVP, the most valuable guy on the field, court, diamond, whatever, right? Like, so is that what you call it an MVP? To me, an MVP is you take that guy away from that team. That team is a completely. I think it's a combination of that.
You can say that for both of them, though.
That's what I'm saying.
But I can make the case that if you take Mahomes off the Chiefs are still a 7-9, 8-8 team, depending on who's the backup.
Nah,
if you take Rodgers off the Packers,
wait a minute, Manny. First of all, Rodgers seeing my whack ass Lions. He's seeing he's in the NFC North. I think Green Bay would be a little more okay than Mahomes.
Nah, yeah, Mahomes.
Just based off the division.
Based
off the division alone.
And Green Bay got a killer running game as well. So
they really do.
But still, man. You take Rodgers off that team. I'll give you this. Okay, if you put Alex Smith, right? I'm gonna use him because he used to play for the Chiefs. If you put Alex Smith now on the Chiefs, there's still a 9-7, 10-6-ish team. I think you guys could agree, right?
I don't know, man. Mahomes is a special talent, man.
But this is what I'm saying. Like Mahomes takes what could be still an 8-8, 7-9, 8-8 team and takes it to the stratosphere, 15-1 Super Bowl type.
So you're pretty much saying he's doing LeBron James type things.
Exactly, but I just feel like look, it's no indictment on Patrick Mahomes. Like I don't want people to think like I'm sitting here dogging Patrick Mahomes, right?
I know. You can't go wrong with. To me, I think Aaron and Mahomes are having a phenomenal season right now. I mean.
It's splitting hairs. You can't argue against.
Like when Nick said it's clear is Mahomes, by a long shot. I can't argue that. I mean, Mahomes.
I just think there's no question. I mean, look at his touchdown interception ratio. Look at
incredible.
The yards he's doing. Yeah. He's only lost one game.
Can't get mad at that.
That alone.
And you can make the case that he hasn't even scratched the surface. That's the scary thing about it.
Because how old is Mahomes? 24? 25?
I know he's less than 25.
Like that's
BL in the chat made the greatest point. This is like saying Michael Jordan is being penalized for his greatness and giving Karl Malone MVP. That's basically what we're saying in this case. Yeah, you got to still give it to him because he's just the best quarterback.
Yeah, Yeah, Mahomes.
I mean,
But again, is that what we're defining MVPs as now? It's just the best
Well, the
quarterback in
MVP
the league.
award is a quarterback award. Let's
it is.
not get
Yeah,
into
I
it's a
hate
quarterback
that it
I
is.
award.
would think he's the
Yeah.
most valuable player in the league. I would think so.
He is the most. If Mahomes, anybody will trade away their best player to get Patty Mahomes.
It's the Mike Trout argument in baseball, right? Like Mike Trout is the best player in baseball,
Yeah.
You know, you could make the case he's the MVP every year. Now, baseball is obviously a different sport. The football, a lot of different variables that are different, right? But you can make that argument in any sport, right? To me, I feel like the MVP is a combination of the best player and value to your team. Now, that's not saying that Mahomes isn't a valuable player. Obviously, I'd be an idiot to say that. I'm just saying if you look at what Aaron Rodgers is doing it with the roster that he has compared to what the Chiefs have, you know, that's where if it's pretty much even, then I break the tie off saying, okay, well, Aaron Rodgers is doing it with a guy named Tunyon. and Mahomes is throwing the fucking Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, two of the best. They could be the two best receivers in football. I mean, you can make the argument. I know one's a tight end, but it's crazy, man. The Chiefs just got it going on, man. The Chiefs, I think they're gonna waltz to a Super Bowl, man. I really do.
They're gonna repeat.
Yeah, I think they're gonna repeat. I mean, what makes me say that even more now is I'm worried about the Steelers. I think the Steelers have taken on too much water in that defense. You know, they could withstand Devin Bush being out, but now they lost
Bud Dupree
for the year. They lost some pieces. They still got Watt. They still got some other pieces that, you know, they still got my man from Alabama, but
I hate this for Tomlin because I have a feeling it's gonna
be a hell of a game. I think that's gonna be a hell of a game at Heinz Field in a couple weeks in January, whenever the hell they play that game. You know, we got to say that with COVID, right?
Yeah.
They may play that goddamn game in March. The way things are looking at it. They may play that shit the same day baseball starts, April 1st. No, I mean, right now I think it's a hell of a game, but I still got to give the Chiefs the edge, man, because the Chiefs right now it's incredible. And Mahomes again is incredible. It's incredible. There's just nothing else to say about that, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going with Patty. I'm sorry. He's only thrown
you
two.
You don't gotta apologize, man. That's a
you
good
gotta apologize. And bro, if you ask me this question tomorrow, I may go with Mahomes. You ask me this question 2 weeks from now, I may go with Rodgers. Like it's that type of argument, right? Like it's that type of MVP race where like I feel like it's gonna come down to the week 17, game 16. Like I feel like it's gonna come down to, you know, if Mahomes has a 500-yard, 5-touchdown game, then he might clinch that. He might clinch that bitch in week 17. If Aaron Rodgers does something stupid, then he might clinch that shit. I mean, it's just gonna come down to that.
It's so crazy to me how far Russell has failed, though, because Russell.
That's what I was gonna get to.
Let's talk about that,
man. Well, it's not that he ain't fall like it didn't hit out the blue, no pun intended. But you obviously when you go against the Giants, that's what happens.
Man,
we make all the quarterback.
Shut up. This has been weeks in the making, though. Before the Giants, this has been weeks.
But see, man, in this what I always tell y'all, man. Like, you know, when we be in the first month of the NFL, and people just be like, "Oh man, this guy about to run away with." People were saying like Russell, the way he's playing, he's gonna run away with the MVP and all that little stuff, and it's like. It's still a lot of football left. We see so much stuff change from week 4, you know, to like week 10. Like teams completely change it within those weeks, and it's like, you know, NFL media people be killing me when they get so excited off of a first month of NFL, and it's like
this is who Russell Wilson is, though, man. Like Russell Wilson, the problem I always have with putting Russell Wilson on that like top 3 echelon quarterback, to me, man, Russell.
You don't think he's top 3 in the league?
He's top 5. I don't know. Like, you know, when people have an argument that like, who would you take, Russell Wilson or Patrick Mahomes? And I felt like they were stupid because like, have you watched Russell Wilson? Like Russell Wilson is frustrating because I feel like the way he plays, you love him and you hate him at the same time. Right, because Russell, the way he plays, some of those plays he pulls out of his ass is why you love him, and then some of those plays that he makes that like, damn nigga, why did you throw that interception like against the Cardinals, like that interception, that just horrible interception that you just like, what is this dude doing? Like Russell Wilson has a lot of those. If you watch a lot of Seahawks games, Russell Wilson does have a lot of those clunkers, man, where you just.
I didn't realize
Russell Wilson is like that great 90, you know, like that great fireballer in baseball, man. That guy that has just nasty stuff, but then once in a while he'll go out there and give up 8 runs. Like that's what I think Russell Wilson is. Like That nigga got no hit stuff 90% of the time, but a couple times he'd be out there giving up 8 runs a game. And that's what I feel like Russell Wilson is. Like, he just has a lot of these games where you're just like, damn, Russ. As great as you are, you shouldn't play that way. And a lot of it is their offense. Like, they have the worst offensive coordinator in football. Like, I don't understand why Schottenheimer still has a job. I feel like that's part of it. But Russell Wilson, man, he has not played well for that. I don't know if he's hurt, but he really hasn't played well in like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
A lot of that was due to the running game. You know, he lost a couple of runs. And I was gonna say too, based off, you know, to piggyback on what you said earlier, Beezy, this year, unlike others with COVID and people being out, this is just like a revolving door for most of these teams. So to get continuity has been difficult. I mean, in any given Sunday, anybody can be out. And people got to remember, these are NFL teams. So even a team like the Giants, without their starting quarterback and without their starting running back, can win a game. You know what I'm saying? So it just is, there's no rhyme or reason to it. But you're right. He makes mistakes in the most untimely of times. But I mean,
you just don't know what you're gonna get from him from time to time. I feel like that's what it is. Like, that's what like, can you honestly tell me you know for sure what performance you're gonna get out of Russell Wilson from time to time sometimes? Because again, that's what I'm saying. Like with Mahomes, you know 9 times out of 10 Mahomes is gonna play great. With even with Rodgers, you know, even though Rodgers has his clunkers here and there too, I would say 80% of the time, you know, 85, 90% of the time, you know what Aaron Rodgers is gonna be, right?
Right.
With Russell Wilson, it's going. I may say like 75% of the time, 70% of the time, you may know what you're gonna get. I mean, because again, Russell Wilson will have those games where he'll throw some bad interceptions. You know, he'll look to run too many damn times where he just makes stupid decisions. Like it's hard to evaluate Russell Wilson. Not saying he's not great. I don't want anybody to sit here and flame me like Russell Wilson is great. Not saying that. I just feel like for a guy that great, he has a lot of these type of performances.
That's true.
Yeah, but let's not bury the lead though. I mean, the Giants, they looking.
Look at your ass.
Oh my God, this nigga could not. This nigga has waited 2 years to talk about the Giants on this
All
level.
I'm saying, I've been biting my tongue. They've been winning games. I think they've won the last 4 of their 5, something like that. I've been just
The
looking
Redskins
at the
are still
progress.
gonna win that division, by the way.
You mean the football team? That football team ain't doing shit.
Sorry.
The
The artist formerly known as the Redskins. I didn't want to offend nobody out there. The artist formerly known as the Redskins.
Alex Smith is an injury-prone guy. I hate to say it, but his foot was bleeding as soon as he touched the field. I mean, I'm like, come on.
But he's
bro.
the best. He might be the best quarterback in that division.
And
No, he's not.
That wasn't his first
With
foot.
one
That
leg,
was
he's still the best quarterback in that division.
No, he's
by
not.
far.
Danny Dimes is the best quarterback in the
This
division
nigga
right
said
now.
Danny 5 cents, Danny pennies.
Hey, Danny, don't wait till he get the hammy right.
Danny
He coming
Canadian
back.
How many
dollars.
yards did he throw for this weekend?
He was hurting.
Okay. Just checking.
I'm just saying we still got the. That's what I'm saying. We're a good overall team. Football.
Y'all
team.
niggas might be better with
Addition
Colt
by
McCoy.
subtraction.
Y'all motherfuckers better be. Y'all might be better with Colt McCoy.
I'd rather take a Colt 45 than trust Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
But
You trust Danny Dimes? Shit.
I trust Danny Dimes. I trust Joe Judge. He may be, to me, he's probably up there. He should
A high
be,
school football teacher, a high school football coach.
I don't give a damn what he is. He got the Giants going on the
Friday
right
Night
track.
Lights special.
If we win in division, I think he's up there for Coach of the Year honors.
No,
I'll
because
say
that
that.
division.
Y'all
That
5 and
division.
7.
Man,
What are you?
I'm just
Y'all
saying.
will be the
I didn't
worst.
say I didn't say he's
Whoever
gonna
wins
win
that
it. I didn't
division
say
will be the worst playoff team in any sport in history.
We could be the Giants could be 9-7. Don't let us hit the 9-7. You know what we do when we 9-7.
All right, I'm done, guys. I'm done. I'm out.
Don't let us get the 9-7. That's our Super Bowl
This
number.
nigga said, "Don't let us get the 9-7."
That's the Super Bowl number. That's all I know. That's a wild card to me.
Oh
We're gonna be a
my
division
God.
chance with that. I'm just saying that I like the progression. Joe Judge is an up and coming head coach that I think people are if you're sleeping on him, you shouldn't. And wait till we get Saquon back. Then we get another off season together. Jason Garrett, who would have thunk it? You know, he's holding down the offense.
This man said Jason Garrett.
I'm just saying, these are the results I'm looking at, Manny.
Hey, listen, man. You know what? you know, it's your time, bro.
Man,
it's your
I
time.
wish,
Shine on.
I
Shine
wish,
on, bro.
I wish
Shine
the
on.
Lions was in the NFC East because we'd be in first place right now.
And I wish the Jets
we
were in
5
the
and
NFC
7.
East.
We 5 and
The
7,
Jets
and
will
we in
probably be
last place in the NFC.
3 and 8.
North.
Like, come on, man.
Like, damn, 5 and 7, first place in the division.
It pays to be in the East, whether it's
That's
AFC or the NFC.
That's it.
That's crazy.
Speaking of the AFC East, Cam is looking good in New England. I don't know if it's just me. I mean,
it's not just you. He's honestly outside before COVID. Cam was on track to win comeback player of the year. You know, before COVID, he really was. He had a great shot of winning comeback player of the year. I mean, he still may. I think COVID really affected him. I don't think that's cap. I don't think that's excuses. Like I feel like that
it did.
COVID really had an effect on that man because he really was playing well, and then he just got COVID, and then the team was kind of in flux. And remember they had to move the game a couple times. So look, the Patriots. Shout out to Bill Belichick, the evil genius, man. He still got the Patriots within playoff positioning and an ability to make the playoffs with all that has happened in New England. Cam Newton, one week he's up, 1 week he's down, and everything. He's still 6-6, still has an opportunity to make the playoffs. So shout out to Bill Belichick, man. And Cam Newton, Cam has played well. Under the circumstances, Cam has played really well. And you got to think about it too. They probably have the worst set of skill position players in the league, and they're 6-6. I mean, if they just had anybody above average, where would that team be?
And that's what I'm saying. I think this is just going back to Bill Belichick being able to, make some shit shake. Now, granted, next season he has to draft somebody. I know the Patriots are probably the worst drafting at offensive talent outside of I think Gronk and Aaron Hernandez maybe, but that's even going back damn near a decade plus. Like he's got to get some weapons for somebody, and I think Cam will probably still be there next year. I think I see them, re-upping on him, but I also see them drafting the QB this year.
Yeah, they'll probably re-sign Cam to a 2-year deal.
He threw for 69 yards Sunday? I didn't know that.
He had 3 touchdowns, though, 2 rushing.
He threw for 69 yards, though.
I can't. Shelton's face when he said that.
Shelton's face should be a meme right there.
Yes, dude.
Dang, man. I'm looking at this like, dang, 69 yards.
The question is, how are you the Chargers and you let a quarterback beat you by throwing 69 yards?
69 yards and you lost 45-0.
That's the question.
Man, that's crazy.
But it was a lot of special team stuff. They had a lot of special team shit go their way that game.
Yeah.
I turned it off because I had their kicker. What is his name? I can't think of his name. He was my kicker, and of course I've been riding all season for Herbert. He's been my quarterback, so I was blown away that game. I just couldn't take it anymore. I felt bad, but it is time now. What's his name? Coach, I can't even think his name. It's time for him to go.
Anthony Lynn. It's getting harder and harder to defend Anthony Lynn, man.
It's been hard. I can't even vouch for the nigga.
I like the guy.
I like Anthony Lynn too, but yeah.
45-0? They saying the same shit that we saying, bro.
He's out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I hope he don't. I hope he don't own. I hope he rent.
I know, yeah.
So now he gonna need to be somewhere near a beach. That's what he goes. He can shed his tears on the beach. Ain't nobody gonna know the difference.
I hate it, man. I hate it.
Yeah, I ain't seen it, man.
He like I said, I rooted for him all year. I really rooted for him to do a good job, and he has been the number one cause of their demise. This team is horrible because of the coach and nothing else.
His clock management is just horrible. Like sometimes I feel like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, you can't say. I mean, the players are playing ball. You can't say really much about his team because they're doing what they're supposed to do. I didn't see much.
And the biggest indictment with him is that talent, because they have a lot of talent on that team, and for them to be, 3-8 or whatever the record is just crazy to me.
Yeah. That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
They probably are the second most talented team in that division. If you really looking at it, and they're underachieving. Yeah, because they got more talent than the Raiders. By far.
And damn sure Denver.
I like Denver, man. Denver to me just needs a coach. Vic Fangio.
They got that much talent though.
Shit, Denver
doesn't have a quarterback.
No, I'm not ready to call it quits on Drew Lock. Like, I don't know what Drew Lock is. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know what Drew Lock is, but I'm not ready to say Drew Lock is just a bum. Like you can't win with him.
Did you see what his wide receiver said put on Twitter?
Nah.
Jerry Jeudy put, at least I got my cardio in, and then he deleted the tweet. If that's not an indictment on the quarterback. I mean, I don't need to hear from nobody else. I heard it from the man that's on the field with him right now. He's telling us this ain't the man.
Yeah,
that's enough saying.
That's not a good look for sure. I agree with you.
if your wide out is saying, man, this dude, he said he sucked. That's enough for me.
Yeah, you may be right. I still think Denver has some pieces though. Like they got Judy, they got Noah Fant, they got KJ Hamler, they got Cortland Sutton. They got some pieces now. Like
they do.
Got some pieces.
Judy
but not compared to the Chargers.
Not compared to the Chargers, but I think Denver has a chance to be a very talented team. I just think they need a coach. Debatable whether they need a quarterback.
No, they need a quarterback.
I mean, could they do better than Drew? Could they do better than Drew Lock? Absolutely.
Matt Jones from Alabama. That's the quarterback.
Who?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, who? Yeah,
he might win the Heisman this year.
The dude playing with like 4 All-Pros.
Yeah, and he playing ball. That's what I'm saying. He might win the Heisman this year,
man.
I bet Jerry would take him over Lock.
That's an asterisk Heisman.
Yeah, because college football season is just
college football is trash this year.
Well, I say him because they're not going to get any of these high draft picks. So in saying that, in that next tier,
they could get Kyle Trask. If you look at the mock drafts, Kyle Trask is not considered.
I still would take Matt Jones over Kyle Trask. Have you not seen this guy play?
I've seen him play, but see the thing in college, man, I'm skeptical with dudes that play with like 3 or 4 great receivers, bro. This nigga
it depends on. He's getting the ball to him, though. Yeah, Devontae Smith was killing. He was getting him the ball in the right places. This dude is throwing that ball all over the field, and every time he gets a chance, he shines. You can't argue with that.
We talked about the Chiefs. Think about Alabama, bro. The fact that they had Jerry Jeudy, who's my man? That's on the Raiders. Ruggs.
Oh, Judy, Henry Ruggs.
Devontae Smith.
Man, y'all better
Waddle.
Yes.
Like.
He's out too now. You need to go back and look at some Mac Jones tape, though. Yes, he got all those guys, but that guy gets the ball where it needs to be. And that's what I look for, the intangibles. In the times when it's tough, he's still throwing the ball good. Somebody said in the chat just now, they said, he played better than Tua down the stretch, and he did.
I agree.
He had less weapons than Tua.
I was never a Tua fan at Alabama.
I was. But I like Mac. I do. I just like him.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, somebody will draft him. Definitely, he's gonna get drafted for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Denver does need something. I think, but I don't think Denver's that far away, man. I think they got a good starting point. So,
well, I mean, speaking of a team that's not that far away, the Bills, man. People talking about the Bills, like, I mean, now that people are saying that the Steelers have been, exposed and shown as the frauds they are. The Bills may be the ones coming. It's the Bills and the Chiefs.
No,
that's what they're saying as the AFC contenders.
The Bills, I'm just not impressed with the Bills, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a Jets fan. The Bills, no.
It's just a no. I think the Bills are a problem. I'm not gonna say they're a huge problem, but they are a problem.
I don't.
That guy slinging that ball all over the field, and I never thought he'd be what he's doing what he's doing now.
They have a
Cole Beasley at that.
Yeah. They have a hell of a coach. He's not a good coach. He's a great coach.
Yeah, that's the Panther way. You see it.
He is. McDermott is a hell of a coach. Underrated. What he's doing, what he's done since he's been there. I mean, the man got to the playoffs with Nate Peterman. Enough said.
Right.
Like, the man's a hell of a coach. But look, I mean, Buffalo's a solid team, man. Buffalo's a solid team. I just think, to me, when they go up against a big team, a big-time team, I don't love them. I don't love their defense is a little inconsistent. I don't love their offense. I know he throws it around a lot, but I still don't love their offense. To me, their offense is a little helter-skelter. 1 week, they'll put up 40 points, and then the next week, they'll score 10. I don't love their offense.
I agree with you. I was never a Josh Allen fan, but looking at him,
and he scares me. He scares me in big games, too, because he liable.
Baby Cam. He's not
No,
baby
he's
Cam.
not.
He's baby Ben Roethlisberger. That's really who he is. I saw somebody say that. And I was
Yeah,
like,
if his career bubbled the way he should be a Ben Roethlisberger light.
yeah.
To me though, but he still scares me though, man, because he still scares me in the negative way. Because he's the type of player that in a big game, he can win you a big game and he can lose you a big game.
Yeah.
Some of his throws, some of his decision making, sometimes I just feel like, damn, what are you doing?
Well, if he plays like he played that last game for the rest of the season, they're gonna be a problem. I'll tell you that. 'cause he
True
got that
indeed.
ball
But
around.
that's the thing. You don't play like that every week.
Yeah. He would say though, my last game is all that matters. And if you count that, man, both those receivers, I think they both had 10 catches, over 100 yards, which is crazy. You know, you got Stephon Diggs.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't think he was going to be this good with Diggs. Like, I didn't think he was going.
Yeah, I didn't think that relationship was going to work out as well as it has. But hey, Minnesota probably Jefferson might be better than Diggs.
I was going to say they're not missing him at all.
They made a smart move because they think about it. They traded Diggs, who was going to want all that money, and they got Jefferson, who makes like
that's
far less and is just as good.
Yeah. And it's just as good.
Yeah.
That was a smart move.
And that's because he fell to their lap because
he fell to them. They got lucky. They did get lucky.
Draft.
Jefferson is a monster, man. That dude is a monster. He
Everybody
might be better than Diggs.
Yeah.
He may not be better than Diggs right now, and that's even debatable. But in a year or two, he's going to be better than Diggs if he stays healthy. Because what he's doing, I've never seen Diggs do.
Yeah, he was in the right spot.
Yeah, we got to see next season and see how defenses, scheme him out. But
yeah, that's true.
If he can do it, if he can do another season like this again, yeah, he's a dog.
Yes.
What was I going to ask y'all? So y'all really worried about the Steelers though?
I guess because of the injuries, they lose some key guys on that defensive side. And
their whole team is defensive. It ain't got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They about to lose some key guys. So I going into these last 4 weeks of the NFL season, I think they're gonna limp their way into the playoffs. I think they still have a shot of at least getting a bye. Along with Kansas City.
Well, there's only one bye this year. Remember?
Oh, so you're not.
They
gonna
have
get
to get the top seed.
Yeah, they're not gonna get a bye. I think Kansas City gonna get that top seed.
And even more so than that, B. Oh, go ahead, B. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my biggest fear for them is not even the injuries, the fact that they don't have a running game.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna kill Pittsburgh.
You need that. You need that in the playoffs, man.
Especially for that team, the way that team is built. Yeah, they need a running game.
Historically, they've always had one.
Yeah, Pittsburgh way is to run the ball. They run then pass, but they have no running game to speak of, and that's gonna kill them. That right there alone, the short passing game right now is their running game. They got about 8 receivers that can do some different things, but Connor is just not the answer. Benny Snell is not getting it done. Samuel not getting it done.
But even with that,
and that's gonna hurt.
But even with the passing game, like some of the receivers, they can't hold on to the ball either. Like they got some of the most drops in the NFL.
Yeah,
not Eric Ebron. Shit.
Well, it's Ebron. So
I'm but I'm saying but he's a big piece of the offense now since he with it tight ends being a huge chain mover, and then also John Connor and all them, they not getting the job done. So he relies on these receivers. These are young receivers, and it's also exposing that Juju ain't the guy that we thought he was going to be. This offense.
If you give Juju a big time contract, man, you smoking.
Yeah,
if I was Juju, I'd stay with Pittsburgh, man. Don't go on the open market.
He's straight mid. Well, he's been that. I've never seen it. Now his work ethic is off the chart. I follow him online, and he works his butt off. But I just don't see.
But it don't mean shit.
A lot of guys work there. I hate when people say that. Like, oh, he works hard. Like a lot of people work hard. That don't mean you.
Antonio Brown leaving was the worst thing that happened to Juju
because he got exposed.
Because he was not ready for that number one spot, and still ain't.
Nope. The fact that Chase Claypool is just taking ownership of that.
Dog in his
right.
Yeah, but no, I'm not as worried about the Steelers as other folks tend to be, because I still think they still have a very good defense. It may not be what it was a couple weeks ago, obviously before the injuries, but yeah, I agree with y'all, man. The running game is a little suspect. The running game is, and I felt that way all year. I mean, Connor's a good complimentary back guy. He's not a lead guy.
No.
And then Benny Snell's a backup. So Yeah, their running game is a little suspect. So, yeah, I still think the Steelers could conceivably get to a Super Bowl, but it's a lot tougher as currently constructed than it was a couple weeks ago. I agree.
Quick question for y'all with the Falcons. Y'all think Raheem deserves a shot to get to coach that team?
I think so, but well,
He's
I gotta see how the rest of the season fall out because
Yeah.
I was really hoping if they would have beat the Saints, then I would say yes, he's going to be a top candidate. But they lost to the
They
Saints.
needed to finish like 7-9, 8-8.
Yeah, he needs to
That's
finish
what
with a
happened.
sexy record. Yeah, and like beat somebody that you like. Oh, I didn't think that y'all was gonna beat them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think Raheem keeps the job. I mean,
He's
done a good job
though.
though. Give him credit. Yeah, give him credit. He's done a good job. But
Yeah.
So like you said,
I think Raheem is better. I think he's a coordinator, man. Raheem Morris is a coordinator. I think he's better at the coordinator role than I think as a head coach. But that's no indictment on him. A lot of guys are like that. Yeah, but he's done a better job than I thought he was ever gonna do. So
I thought they was tanking.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But he he learned from his time in Tampa though, and I think that
he was young in Tampa.
Yeah, he was. He was in over his head, and I think now he has a little experience with it.
Would I like to see it? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? No.
Yeah. You're right.
So right now, gun to your head, who wins that NFC East? We all know what Nick gonna say.
Yeah.
Gun to your head right now. You got to go to Vegas to put money on your life. Who wins the NFC?
Redskins.
Washington team?
Oh, yeah. Washington team.
Yes. For those in the chat and watching at home. Washington football team.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go with the Washington team.
Yeah, I suck.
Because they 5-7 too, right?
What's the Giants' remaining schedule?
Hold on, I can tell you.
I can pull it up.
Not unless you can pull it up quicker, Nick, but I can tell
You
you.
might be able to do it faster.
All right, I got it. You said the Giants remaining schedule. They got the Cardinals at home. They got the Browns at home. They got Ravens at Ravens. And then they got the Cowboys at home. So 4 games left. Three of them are home games.
And those are
this is Washington's home game. These are Washington's remaining schedule. They're at the 49ers. At home against the Seahawks. At home against the Panthers. At the Eagles.
So 2 home games, 2 away.
Mm-hmm. What was the Giants' schedule again?
It was Arizona.
At home against Arizona.
At home against
Arizona. At home against the Browns. Away against the Ravens. And at home against the Cowboys.
They
have
a tougher schedule than the Redskins.
They have a tougher schedule, but they're playing the best out of the. I mean, Washington just got their win last week, so I'm not even going to say much about that. And we all just point out the Steelers are one good game. We get
That's
exposed.
Still a big time win to go into Pittsburgh and beat the Steelers. That's still a big time win. Same thing. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Even
like, we did it on the road.
That's a confidence booster. That's a big confidence booster.
If you want to say that beating the Seahawks on the road is a big win, which it is, then you got to also say going into Pittsburgh to Heinz Field to beat the Steelers. I don't care how they playing. That's tied right there. So yeah,
Arizona's falling off.
Yeah,
Arizona's falling off. The Browns are going to probably be the Browns again. The Giants have a top 10 defense, I believe, as well. So they're not going to be able to shred. We saw last week against the Seahawks, they can get pressure on the QB. That's what the Titans can't do. They lost to the Bengals. You know what I mean? So like that says a lot about what the Titans are going to be on defensively. But in comparison with the Giants, I think you'll get a lot more pressure and put Baker in those situations that we've seen him fail in. And then you got the Cowboys, that's a dub. And then what was the other? And then the Ravens. That may be the only loss that I see, probably. I think we can go 3-1 in the last 4.
It's gonna come down. Somebody's gonna go 1-3, and somebody's gonna go 2-2.
I think Washington is going 2-2. I think the only two wins they get is in the division against the Cowboys and the Eagles. I think
the Cowboys are going to beat the Giants, and the Redskins should beat the Panthers because of the Ron Rivera factor.
I think the Redskins. I think I would put my money on the Redskins. Not saying the Giants can't, but I would put my money on the Redskins because of that schedule.
I'm just going with the high
Washington
team.
Football team, not the Redskins.
Sorry, the Washington football team. Damn it. the Washington football team, soon to be named, hopefully the Red Tail.
They're not gonna name their team, bro. I think this is what it is. Just gonna leave it as
if they win this division, they shouldn't name this team.
Yeah, right. Name them the Hogs or something. Yeah, whatever. The Washington football team. Now I still think the Washington's got the advantage, man. Washington's playing well, man, and Alex Smith's playing well too, man. The thing that gives me pause, the thing that gives me pause on the Giants is Colt McCoy.
Then he's coming back. That's the thing. Yeah, he ain't gonna be out for too long.
And that's why I say Washington. Thank you.
Let's hope.
Washington don't got no QB either.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Alex Smith. This is not 2012. This is not 2012.
I still take Alex Smith with one leg, bleeding ankle, whatever. I'll still take that Alex Smith over a lot of dudes in the league. I'll tell you that much. Hey, man, after I seen that documentary on Alex Smith, man, I gained a different respect for that dude, man. Because for that dude to go through what he went through and still be playing at an effective level, you can't say a bad word about that dude. You can't say a bad word about that dude.
This ain't the Lifetime Hallmark movie. All right,
man,
this is football. We're talking about.
I ain't saying you gotta give him a pass, but I'm just saying, like, dude, earn my respect, man. That dude get respect, man. Because he didn't have to come back. He's made plenty of money. Did not have to come back. He's made plenty of money.
I'm sure to get the rest of his money, he had to come back.
True.
That's why he's still out there on a bum ass deal.
Nobody gonna give him free money. Hey, man, but give him credit because look, that move could have blown up on Rivera, and it's not. If anything, he's playing better than the two quarterbacks he had on the roster. That's an indictment on Dwayne Haskins too, by the way.
Don't mention. Why you gotta bring up the black man now? Come on,
bro.
You say he can't be the
because I was a Haskins guy. Like I was hardcore. Haskins is the guy. Those throws he made at Ohio State. Like I love Haskins coming out, man. And he's been a disappointment.
I'm surprised you said that because you just talked about how like college quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, in that transition.
Nah, but I love.
He really
Haskins,
only had. I loved him too. I loved him too, but he really only had 1 year, and his head coach was like, "This nigga need to come back. Like he don't need."
He needs time, man. He needs time. He needed to watch.
But if you read all the tea leaves, man, he didn't interview well. He didn't work out well. Yeah, man, it's hard to defend a nigga when this is your biggest interview of your life and you out here fucking around. Allegedly, we don't know. None of us were there, but yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah. Real quick before we get out of here, what y'all think about this college football season, man? Y'all think it's a sham? I think it's a sham because
I think it's
Michigan State, Ohio State isn't going to be played. I mean, Michigan throw the whole season away at this point.
Right. Yeah. You know, you had the Big Ten and Pac-12 start all in the middle of the
season. What if you're the Pac-12? I mean, what are you even playing for? You're not playing for a national championship,
right?
You might as well just make the Final Four all SEC teams and Notre Dame.
Pretty much. You know. Yeah, man. This college season has been a wash.
They should have just called it quits. Say, you know what? We're not going to ask student athletes to go out there and risk their lives, you know, or health.
And it makes me think
they said that at first, and then they went back.
Right.
Because the SEC was like
how college basketball and NBA going to do now that they're not doing the bubble. You know what I'm saying?
But it's different. It's different with basketball, man. It's different. Football, you can't ask 53. A
couple of those reports of Portland. I think Portland had a few people in there that called it.
But I'm just talking about the sheer numbers, though, man. It's harder. It's easy to keep it contained when you're dealing with a roster of like 11 guys and 6 coaches. You got 50. You got 60 dudes on a football team, like and these dudes are all going in different directions. You don't know what these motherfuckers is doing when they leave the fucking facility, as you see from the NFL.
That's why the NBA said no clubs. They said no clubs and bars.
Look what James Harden doing.
And you know what? The accountability goes on the players too, man. Y'all know what the fuck is going on, man. Stay your ass at home. Y'all niggas y'all don't need the club that much.
Right.
So you heard how they was talking about the bubble. They need their little entertainment.
Well, that's what they get.
That
That's what
shit
they at the
was-
crib now.
That shit was so offensive. The fact that motherfuckers was talking about how, you know, the NBA players should be commended because they went through a hard time. Like, shut the fuck up. I wish I could stay in a 6-star hotel in Orlando for 6 months, for 3 months,
Playing basketball.
playing basketball for a living. You got people out here, small business owners losing their livelihood. People who own businesses for 25 years, shutting down on a whim because of this damn thing. And I got J.R. Smith complaining. I'm just using him as an example. I'm just saying. J.R. Smith had a hard time in Orlando for 3 months. Like, stop. Stop. Please stop. That's what makes people hate. That's what makes regular people hate athletes, man. It's like, come on, man. Come on. You made $25 million to sit in that hotel. Chill. Chill. You're all right. You will survive.
And you was getting all kinds of unlimited mani petties if you wanted to. They had them motherfuckers.
Yeah. And as you saw, some dudes were still sneaking people in. Shout out Daniel House.
Hey, shit. He should have kept it at the house.
The idiot of
That
the year.
motherfucker. Damn, we may have to do a Dead End Sports Idiot of the Year.
Yeah, let's do that. Year end wrap up. Idiot of the year.
Yeah.
He is definitely on the top 5 list, boy.
Jesus Christ.
Along with Nate Robinson.
Get up.
We ain't got no questions in the chat.
Yo, Chef, what they talking about?
No, they were just talking about, basically talking about what we were talking about. That's pretty much it. So we ain't got no more questions.
Damn, the chat quiet today.
Chat quiet tonight, man. What's good, chat? I thought y'all would be loaded with some questions. What's good? Who gonna win the NFC West? I got a question. Who's gonna win the NFC West?
Oh, I got
NFC
the
West.
Shit.
I got the Rams.
I was about to say
You got the
I said it on the show. I think I said it on my show. But yeah, I got the Rams, bro. I think the Rams are gonna win that division. Which is crazy to think about when you think about where the Seahawks started.
Seahawks started undefeated for a minute. And
But that was a fluky undefeated
Shelton.
because they won like 3 games in the last possession. Like, yeah, they.
Hey Shelton,
Yo,
what you think of the Earl Spence fight? Did you watch it? Well, how you think Earl
I
Spence?
did,
Yeah, that's a good
man.
point.
I was highly impressed with Errol, man. He fought like I expected him to fight, but I was really nervous that he was gonna catch one. But
Yeah.
he made Danny look bad. I don't know if something was wrong with Danny or what was going on, but he didn't look like himself at all. But Errol took a couple good shots. I was afraid that he was gonna have some ring rust, but nah, he didn't have it at all.
So let me ask this: do you think after seeing that fight, you think he's ready for Bud, or you think he needs one more?
I think he needs one more
Me
fight
too.
to fight.
I think
Bud.
so too. As much as I want them to fight next year, like I want them to fight right away. If Errol Spence would have fought Bud Crawford, he would have lost. Like,
yeah, he would have lost that fight with Bud.
But I think, I do think Errol Spence needs one more fight. Who he's gonna fight, I don't know, but I think he needs one more fight.
Yeah,
where he's ready for Bud, and then
I agree.
maybe fall, maybe November of next
Weren't
year.
they talking about Spence fighting Pacquiao first though? Before Spence? Or
No, they were
before
talking about
Crawford?
Bud. They were talking about Bud. Bud was looking at Pacquiao and somebody else. I was like, why Pacquiao? Why?
Because
he's a name and that's money and it's money.
Yeah, that's the draw, and the fact that he has a belt now, that's a big draw.
Yeah.
So in saying that,
Pacquiao's a huge pay-per-view draw.
He's
Man.
a huge
You can't understand. You can't understate that, man. That's a huge payout.
Man, Bud Crawford gonna do work on him. He gonna do work.
Yeah,
on
Pacquiao too old for all that, man.
But as a fan,
they should know better.
Pacquiao should just retire, man. Yo, hey, man, I had my time.
I thought he was retired.
I thought he was.
Well, he basically retired. He moonlight as a boxer now. At this point, he apologized for moonlighting as a boxer.
Right.
Yeah, I think Earl needs one more fight. I think he needs one more fight before him and Bud.
Yeah, I agree. He needs. I would.
Maybe him and Bud. Maybe Bud might fight like in March, and then Earl fight in April, and then they fight again like in October and something.
I want to see Bud fight Sean Porter, and I don't know who.
Okay, that'll be good. Yeah. Bud to fight Sean Porter. Errol Spencer fight Pacquiao. They both do work, and then that'll set up for the November, October, fall showdown.
Yes, that'd be good.
Yeah, I was also surprised how good Spence looked. I think Garcia was also surprised just by the way he
was.
boxed. I think even Garcia was surprised that this dude looked as good as he did.
Yeah, because after that horrible car accident he was in, man, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And then like hearing Errol Spence in interviews, I was just like, man, is he there? Is he going?
Yeah, it didn't seem right. Yeah,
it didn't seem right, but no, for him to have that rust, he looked good. He looked good.
He did.
Yeah. Give him
What
credit.
What about Logan Paul in Florida? Are you gonna pay for that?
I'm not.
I don't talk about that shit. Don't even entertain that damn fight.
That's crazy. Like
I'm
stupid.
done with Floyd.
That's crazy. Like
Floyd
why you gonna
man.
give Jake Paul that bag like that, man? Why you gonna give him the bag like that?
I will like to see him beat the shit out the little white boy though.
Man, I'm not.
You
I watch it on. Hey, I watch it on Twitter because I'm pretty sure Twitter give me the play-by-play.
I will too. I'd rather see him get Nate Robinson Floyd, just because.
Right.
No.
Let Nate Robinson get the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Nate need more than a bag.
Yeah. He gonna be in the body bag. That's what he gonna be. And he fucking around with them Paul brothers again.
That's it. Hey man, I'm gonna change the subject real quick because I forgot about this. Ray DeRozzo, appreciate it. He said we didn't talk about Jello and the Ball family, man. How y'all feel about that? Jello getting the job.
Ken not here. Ken decided.
They call him the Ball boy.
I want to say he got like a 10, like it's not even like a guaranteed contract with the Pistons. It's kind of like a more like we're gonna wait and see how you look during these.
It's a blind date. It's a blind.
Hey, he still made it to the NBA, man. I don't care. Still counts.
Yeah, it still counts. It still counts.
Still more than a lot of niggas.
You know, is he gonna make the roster? That's to remain to be seen. He might end up being for Detroit. He might play for Grand Rapids, the G League team probably. Mm-hmm. And maybe if the Pistons need him to call him up there, use him. I don't know.
I still feel like, I'm for LeVar, man, this is a huge win, man. You got all your three sons on the platform that you strive for them to be, and you did it the unconventional way because nobody thought it was going to work.
Yep.
And he still got them all there.
Yep.
And that's something I thought myself that he cost them everything. I was like, man, it's over for them, all three of them. And it was his fault. But no, I was wrong. I mean,
Jello messed up.
And I never understood that. Like, I never understood that narrative that he cost them everything because he was outspoken and bombastic. Like, I don't.
Correct.
I don't get that. To me, at the end of the day, if they could play, they could play. If they can't, they can't. And that was going to show.
We talked about that though. Remember we talked, when we were talking earlier about, some of the sports shows on now, how we would probably be kicked off right away because of our opinions. It's the same thing in sports. You can't have that big of a voice that early without proving anything. He was talking before they even made it. So I didn't think they'd get the opportunity because of his mouth. And because he took that boy out of school like that, I thought, dang, he taking him out of school? Like, to me, that was crazy.
Yeah. School, man, he showcased that school is overrated when it comes to certain shit that's guaranteed.
He did.
Everybody, and it wasn't even like he didn't cost them anything. He helped elevate them. I don't think they would have been this marketable on their own. Even Melo.
I think Lonzo would have because I think Lonzo came in with that hype, but I think he definitely helped the other two for sure.
Well, Lonzo came in with the hype because of his father, though. If you don't recall, his dad was doing all the talking.
Give and take. Lonzo had a lot of hype even before his dad. Before his dad was like going on the Herd and ESPN and all that, because Lonzo came in with some notoriety. Lonzo was like the number 2 or 3 recruit in the country. Like people knew Lonzo Ball were following.
He was balling at UCLA.
They did, but his hype superseded his talent even then. He was never a great shooter. I mean, he was a nice baller.
I still feel like Lonzo hasn't even scratched the surface of how good he could be. He's already an all NBA defender now. If his offense just catches up even a little bit, the sky's the limit to me. I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to be Jason Kidd, but people that say that Lonzo Ball is a bust and he's a bum, stop. Lonzo Ball is he kind of is a bust
and a bum, but I still think that like he needs to be in a good situation. That's all I gotta say. Because I mean, like he was drafted as a number 2 overall pick, and Magic Johnson literally said we gonna retire this.
A bust and a bum is Anthony Bennett.
Just said,
I'm not putting him in the same
Lonzo
class.
Lonzo Ball is not a bum.
I mean, there's a scale to bust. It ain't just like automatically going to Anthony Bennett. Like, you a bust.
A bust and a bum, though. Damn,
bust and a bum.
He's a gentle bust.
Is what he is. He's an underachiever, and that's probably the
Underachiever.
category.
That's a nice way to say a bum.
That
Yes,
sounds
it is.
reasonable.
A nice way to say a bum is
But a
you're
bus
underachiever.
and a bum, damn.
He's not played up to the level of a number 2 pick, Manny. I ain't seen it.
Yeah.
No,
he's already been
you're right,
traded.
and that's
I agree with
totally fair.
I agree with that.
I'm not gonna debate that. Is he played up to the level of the number 2 overall pick? No, but I
Right.
think it's a little
but not a
far fetched to say,
And
oh
he's
yeah,
about to be on
he's
his
a bum.
third team. That's a bum. If you traveling like that before your rookie deal up, you're a bum.
Well, to be fair, it's a little bit different. They traded him for Anthony Davis. It's not like they traded him because he was a bum.
If
They
they
traded him
didn't trade
for
Kyle
Anthony
Kuzma,
Davis.
They traded him
They didn't
because he was
trade Kyle
underachiever. Yeah, they
if they
kept
wanted
Kyle
to keep
Kuzma.
if they wanted to keep him, they would have kept him. That's what I keep telling people. It's
He
that
wasn't
simple.
gonna
If you wanted to keep, I'm just saying, man. If you wanted to keep him, you could have kept him. You didn't. You offered him up first. Let this motherfucker go right now.
I hated
Pennies
giving
on
up
the
Lonzo.
dollar.
I hated giving up Lonzo. I
You don't
hated
hate
giving
shit,
up Lonzo.
man. You love that
Yeah,
damn
I did.
title.
I'm still a Lonzo fan, man. I still believe in Lonzo Ball can be a very good NBA point guard and player. I would again, his defense is incredible. His defense is legit. His court
defense is slept on.
His court vision is legit. Like the dude can play, man. A lot of
Would you-
people again they got caught up in the dad's hype. Like ignore the dad.
They
Like
did.
what was his dad? What was his dad supposed to say? Yeah, my son's kind of average. He aight. You know that nigga.
There's a difference between saying that and what he said, man. It ain't like he just said that. Like, oh
his
yeah, my
dad
son
was
is
doing.
really
His
good.
dad was self-promoting his son. Like
He was.
Look,
He
I
was,
never
but he did
I
it to the
never- I
most
never paid
extreme
attention.
nigga level.
I never paid attention to LeVar Ball. Like people gave LeVar Ball more attention than he deserved. Like I
Yeah,
never
they
paid
did.
attention to everything
They
he
did.
said. Like LeVar Ball came out and said, "Yo, my son, he was a wrestling promoter. This nigga was out there cutting wrestling promos and shit." Like, come on now, man. I never took what this dude said serious. Like people took serious that shit because they wanted to get a rise out of what he was saying. Like, who's this dude who was this like marginal college basketball player and subpar NFL undrafted, whatever. Like, who is this dude talking all this shit? But it's like y'all gave this dude too much attention. Like, I ignored all that shit. I focused on what these dudes did on the court. Lonzo played well in college. I thought he was going to play well, and he had spurts with the Lakers. I think the thing that ruined Lonzo was LeBron getting there and the focus shifting. Like, once LeBron was acquired, like it wasn't about developing anymore. It was about trying to win a championship. So Lonzo became expendable.
So basically, at this point, do y'all think that he's where he should be right now? As far as talent wise, is Lonzo?
I do not.
Nah,
I think
he's gonna get moved.
his shooting is still an issue, and I think his shooting still needs to improve. I don't think he is. I don't think he is where he needs to be right now. But I also don't think he's a bust or a bum, or he should be in the G League. I think that there's two extremes with Lonzo. Like the folks that think he's like Jason Kidd 2.0, and then the folks that think he's basically Anthony Bennett. Like he's somewhere.
He's Anthony Bennett, but he's not. I think he's gonna get traded off this team.
Mm.
I think his third team is the team that's like, all right, this is the team that we can see him possibly developing.
I don't think the Pelicans are trading him.
Yeah,
I think they'll get rid of him eventually.
I think Lonzo going to shine this year. By the way,
this will be an interesting season. I tell you what, he better develop.
Now with Drew Holiday gone, I think the keys and the reins are his, and it's time for him to either show and prove.
Yep,
that's it. Because he better
it's
step
definitely
up.
time for him to
Because
show and prove this year.
If Zion doesn't get the ball like he needs to get it where he needs to get it, and Lonzo ain't being a part of that, he got to go. And it's that simple because Zion, the man, that's the man on the squad. And he needs the ball. Lonzo has to be the complement. He needs to be Robin to Zion's Batman at this point. And if he can't do that, then he is closer to Anthony Bennett than Jason Kidd.
We shall see.
We'll see. He's on watch like I got Steph on watch. That's all. I just want to see what they do.
Level of disrespect.
Hey, Marty McFly said he said Chauncey Billups took a while to develop. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh yeah,
well, Lonzo ain't got a while.
Let's get to before we get out of here. Let's get to these picks for Week 14. I think I won last week.
I feel like I did pretty good, didn't I? Last week.
I think you picked Arizona in one of them games.
Yeah, I know.
I don't
I did
even
pick
remember
Arizona.
what I
I think
picked
that was my
last
only one, though. I believe. I think that was my only L. But what's the games this week?
This week we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Las Vegas Raiders. Who y'all got?
Oh man, that's tough.
That is.
I got the Colts.
Who at home?
Vegas.
I have the Colts.
I'm going with Vegas.
Give me the Raiders.
I don't like the way the Raiders played against the Jets. They should have
I'm
lost
going.
again.
I'm going with the Colts too. I think this is definitely because they fighting for that division, so they trying to take care of business in the AFC South. So I'm gonna go with the Colts.
All right. Up next, we've got the New England Patriots at the Los Angeles Rams.
I got the Rams.
Give me Cam Newton, baby.
What's the spread on the Rams and Patriots?
It's probably like a 10-point spread. Hold on, let me see.
Give me Cam Newton with his 84 yards passing. Now he might top 100 this week.
Give me.
It's actually only a 5-point spread.
5 points.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a close.
Yeah, pretty much pick them.
Give me the Rams.
Yeah,
I'm going.
Rams.
I'm going New England.
I'll take the points with the Rams.
I'm going New England.
I'm going Rams.
Yeah,
it's Belichick against Sean McVay again, and he shut him down last time. So
right,
different circumstance, different teams.
Also, Cam Newton's on a roll in his brain, so that's all that matters. When he gets on a roll, it's hard to stop him.
All he got to throw is 80 yards, and he good.
If it was in New England, I would say New England, but I think this is on the road. Or this is on the road. I think
this is on the road.
Pull it out.
All right,
Cam Newton for 69 yards last week. I just wanted to say that again. Cam Newton for 60.
Your face when you said
and they blew him out. And they blew
45 to nothing.
45 to nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man. That's not good as a Chargers coach.
No, that's an understatement. It's not good.
We got Baltimore at Cleveland. Who y'all got?
Give me Baltimore. They're gonna step it up and run the ball, and they're gonna win this game.
What's the spread?
The spread for that game is
3 for Cleveland. No, Baltimore. 3 for Baltimore. It's got to be Baltimore -3.
It's a pick'em game.
Nikki do say with the LinkedIn photo on your damn.
That's what I told him.
I hate y'all. But it's the pick'em game pretty much.
Man.
No, I think I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I think they're gonna get some get back. They're gonna get some get back. I think this Ravens squad is a different team going into this week than opposed to week 1. So I'm gonna go with the Browns. I hate I'm picking Baker Mayfield over Lamar Jackson right now.
This is hard. Who you got, Manny?
I want to go with Cleveland, man, but they just never win these games, man. They just never. You know what? I'll say this: if they win this game, it'll show me something about this Cleveland team. Go out there and beat the Ravens. Coming off of COVID, I know they played the Cowboys today, but the Cowboys are a fucking high school football team. Go out there and beat the Ravens. Your division rival who always beats you down. Go out there and beat the Ravens, and I'll see something. Then that'll show me something. But I'm still gonna pick. In a 3-point spread, I still pick the Ravens.
I'm picking the Browns just because the Ravens are coming off a super short week. So.
Oh yeah,
that's a good point. Shit, that's a good point.
That's because I just thought about that. I was like, I was gonna go with Baltimore, but I'm like, they literally just.
But they also haven't played in.
And Dez got COVID, so I don't know how that would affect the team.
Yeah.
As far as like who else needs to get tested. They had a great win against Dallas, but yeah, that's too short on the week for me. Last game, we have Pittsburgh at Buffalo.
Hey man, we got some tough
That's a good game.
Buffalo.
I got Pittsburgh.
Buffalo.
Pittsburgh bounces back.
Buffalo.
I'm going Buff.
What's the spread?
Let me see.
Cue the LinkedIn photo.
I'm not doing that again.
You the LinkedIn photo.
I was hoping
y'all niggas ain't getting that out of me. Fuck y'all. Shit, B, you ain't got the spread?
Look it up.
I thought you had on it.
See.
Pull it up, Nick.
Steelers Bills spread.
Which game you said again? Buffalo.
1.5. Minus 1.5 for Steelers.
Oh damn!
It's showing on ESPN.
That's a
it's
pick 'em.
showing negative. It's showing negative 2.5 for Buffalo.
Oh really?
That's a pick. Yeah, that's a field goal. So
that's a pick 'em game. Right
yeah,
there,
I'm going Buffalo. They the hottest team. They outside of the Chiefs. They may be the hottest team in the NFL. They won 9 or maybe now 10 straight
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
I'm-
Like they hot.
I'm still gonna go with the Steelers. I think the Steelers bounce back. They didn't play well against the Redskins, and they still should have probably beat them. And I think the Steelers will be up for this game. I think a team like this that's 11-0. I think the Steelers almost needed a loss like this because I think it would have been a lot of pressure on them to go into like week 15, 16, undefeated, and everybody talking about they're gonna go 16-0. I think sometimes it's good for teams like this to kind of lose, get a game out of the way. I think the Steelers are going to bounce back this game. Plus, again, I can never trust Buffalo. Buffalo have a game like this on Monday night against the 49ers and then go out there and throw a clunker, 17 points. Josh Allen throw 3 interceptions. Like, that's a Buffalo that's a Buffalo special. So, yeah, give me the Steelers. Close game, but I think it's Steelers.
Everybody else pick?
Yep. I picked Buffalo.
Buffalo as well.
All right. Yeah, we all basically saying Buffalo. So yeah, those are the games. Those are the hottest games that I got for next week or this
Can
upcoming
somebody
week.
put on Reddit, please, what our records are?
Yeah, I think the guy still keeps up with it. I'll double check though for next episode. But all right, I think that'll do
Shelton,
it for
you'll
us
be
this
happy.
week.
Duke lost.
Yeah, I was about to say that, man. I couldn't get it out in time. I was just gonna let you know that. I didn't know if you saw that or not.
Oh, I saw it. I've been watching the game the whole time.
Hey, this is Sparta, man. I'm so glad my Sparties beat your Dukes.
Hey, man, it doesn't mean much this year, though, man. I'm telling you, because
Yeah.
Duke, Kentucky, and Carolina are all down this year. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're down. We can't shoot.
Down.
We can't shoot. This is
Our
probably
defense,
the worst.
man. Michigan State defense. Man, this
I'm
is one of the best defensive teams.
You guys
I've
in
seen
Florida
this
State,
all
I'm
time.
convinced y'all niggas got like the taxi squad for the football teams playing basketball.
Yeah.
No, man.
I'm convinced.
Man, this is some of the best team defense I've seen Tom Izzo had in a long time. Man, we was all over y'all when we was playing y'all.
And the fact is, we was dominating the first like 8 minutes of the game too. That's the crazy part.
Sure
and then it's
was.
just like,
Yep.
that's the problem with this Duke team, man. They can't score. They can't score. They can't shoot.
defense
No, they can't
picks up.
shoot.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Duke. They can't shoot.
Right.
So I mean, I hope we keep that same defense intensity when we get Bates pretty, in another year or two. If he still decides to, he verbally committed to Michigan State.
This is a transition year for Duke. Duke next year gonna be backing them. They got the best recruiting class coming out next year.
They have it every year.
No, this year we are actually like 10th.
It was that far down? I thought it was like 3rd
Yeah,
or 4th.
it's like a transition year this year. I mean, 10th is still 10th.
That's still good. I mean? You're right. That's still good.
I mean, for Duke, 10th is like 50th, but
Yeah. Well, it don't matter with us. And I will say this about Roy. Roy does a horrible job at elevating players. If a guy's at Duke for 2 years, he's a totally different player his second year. At Carolina, you're gonna be the same trash he was. Because
I wouldn't. Not this year, man. This nigga here, I forget what his fucking name is. It's trash this year. He's like worse than last year.
Which one?
What's his face? Oh, fuck, I can't remember his name right now. It's escaping me right now.
But see, here's the thing, though. If it happens at a place like Duke, especially with it being a COVID year, so he probably didn't get a chance to work with those guys in the offseason.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think a lot of it is that. I think a year like this is going to benefit teams that have been together for a long time. So I think you're seeing Iowa flourish. Iowa's been around. That's an older team.
Right.
So I think this is going to be a year where like a senior-laden team is going to win the championship.
Right. For the most part, though, Mike gets it done. Look at Nolan Smith, and some of those guys were trash one year. They come back the next year and they lead those teams to championships.
They get better, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely get better. Carolina, it's going to be the same. These are the same players as the day they walk on campus. There's no growth whatsoever except for a few. So that's the one thing I can say I'm disappointed in about Carolina. We win sometimes, but we win just off sheer effort. Nobody's getting better. You got Luke May who got better. That's pretty much. And Justin Jackson. Other than that, everybody else is the exact same player when they walked off campus.
Pretty much.
Well, all right. That'll do it for us this week. Manny, appreciate you sliding through, man.
Always,
please
man.
let us know what you got going on. What's up?
Any Given Sunday, took a week off this week, did some yard work, and then I came home and I paid for it. So took a night off on Sunday. 34 going on 50. That's how I feel. But I'll be back next week.
I hope you celebrated your birthday all right and everything, man.
Man, we on lockdown, man, over here. So, me and the wife just ordered some takeout and watched the fucking Roy Jones Tyson fight, and then watched a Christmas movie. So, but it was cool, man. Quality time, quality time with the old lady. So it's all good. It's all good. Nah, man. Thank you for the all. And matter of fact, thank you for all the birthday wishes, by the way, too. I didn't get a chance to say that last week, but appreciate all the birthday wishes. Yeah, man. Any Given Sunday, new episodes every week. Y'all know where to find me. At D Manuel Brown, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. Y'all know where I'm at.
All right. Before B fall asleep on the damn camera, bro.
No, I was reading something.
Y'all a couple times.
Shout out to Ken too for setting up the show tonight too, remotely.
Yeah, the ghost of Ken is always in the room.
Yeah,
yes, always.
He picked a hell of an episode to duck out. We were supposed to talk about Lonzo and the Ball family, and he ducked out on us. But
yeah, he did.
It's all good, Ken.
He's saving that for the NBA special that we about to have.
Okay.
Right.
All right. That'll do it for us this week. We out. Peace.